possibly not a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello. Welcome to the 4th episode of the Destiny Community Podcast. As you notice, we have the whole crew back this week, and there's a guest, Datto. Hello.
Hi.
Datto.
Big D. Datto.
The big D.
The big D. Numbers and D.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I know all of you. We don't need no introductions.
No, we want an introduction from you. Tell us about yourself, Datto.
Yeah.
too.
Datto,
I'm
can
a
I,
Star
user. I
sign.
make internet videos. People like them. I talk about numbers, and that's it.
Datto,
That's me.
can you also
I
give
did it.
can you also give one good reason why you've never visited Cactus Taco in Hollywood?
I am not driving into Hollywood ever. I hate that. Friends call me
So-
up. Hey, you want to go to Hollywood
Excuses.
Saturday night at 8 p.m.? No.
No, not Saturday
8
night.
p.m.? No.
No, you can go there at 3 in the morning. They're still open.
I don't like driving into Hollywood. It sucks.
I'm surprised you're still in LA.
I hate it. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm working on getting out of here. As soon as the videos start to slow down, I'm getting the hell out of Los Angeles. I just don't need to be here anymore.
Nope.
Fair enough.
It's time to get out.
Where are you going to
Costs
go,
too
Datto?
much. I might go to Seattle, but I could go anywhere. I don't know.
No, he's going to Seattle, and Patrick's going to Seattle.
Everyone's going to Seattle.
We're gonna build a
Yeah.
happy community.
I want
the
you
most
guys to
likely
create a
destination.
streamer house. You know, where everybody lives under the same roof, and
I
you
can
know,
think of no other
Nope.
situation that would make us
Datto
hate each other
does
more.
breakfast. You know,
Datto does
for Watts and
breakfast.
Patrick.
That would require
I need my-
Datto
I need
waking
my
up.
space. Yeah, and I'm not
If-
getting up before noon.
I mean, if you
Not
guys live in the
Same
same
here.
apartment building as me, we're technically under the same roof.
That's
This is
true.
true. It's
So-
true.
I can do same building. I will not
Yeah.
do same apartment.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Okay. There is no webcam equivalent of this
There's
when I gotta get things done.
For everyone
When-
listening to
when
the
there's
audio
someone else
version
in
of
the
the
apartment.
podcast, for everyone listening to the audio version of the podcast, he took his webcam from facing him
I flipped it upside down.
to the desk. Yeah.
Mhm.
There's no
So-
equal on that.
No.
We got to play the heroic mode of the raid this week, and I want to hear
sure
everybody's
did.
opinion. I want to just like go through the
Go
entire
around the
list
room.
of everybody. I think we should got to start with Datto because
Definitely.
Yes.
when we were considering like a guest list, right? When we were first getting the podcast together and we were considering a guest list, we were like, okay, so when are we gonna get Datto on? And everybody said, how about right after the hard mode releases? So Datto, what'd you think of the heroic mode of the Wrath of the Machine raid?
I just want to clarify why you actually got me is because you guys called up Slayer and he didn't pick up the phone. I was like, oh well, I mean, he just not picking up.
That's
You gotta just get Datto instead. So no, I mean, it was definitely within the realms of what I thought was going to happen with any sort of hard mode style raid. You know, Vosik, they doubled the bombs. I thought they were going to double the monitors instead. By the way,
Mhm.
spoilers, raid hard mode mechanics. You know,
Oh,
we
this is
talking
gonna
Yeah,
be
there's gonna be a lot
spoiler
of spoilers.
heavy.
Yeah, a lot of spoilers here.
So there's double the bombs instead. Ads feel much more numerous. Feels like there's way more ads during the Vosik
They
encounter.
throw more grenades.
They
It's
throw
and
tons of
feels like
balls.
it.
those red SIVA bombs that come at you when you headshot kill things will absolutely annihilate you now, which is both frustrating and expected. I just wish that they were more worth your time to kill because they're
Yeah.
so obnoxious. But yeah, I mean, Vosik was probably the most difficult part of the raid in heroic mode for sure. Like my team ended up one-shotting the siege engine, which had the perfected walker come in, which is it's you know, it's a fun little
Nice. It's fun.
That
side
was
thing,
exciting.
but it didn't really, you know, change up the pace too much. And if you're using Outbreak Prime during that portion of the encounter, then you just melt the thing. But the siege engine also felt like it gave you way more time to complete it over the normal mode. I don't know if you guys got that vibe out of it, but I don't actually know for sure if you do get more time, but it feels like you get more time.
Really?
I picked up
That's
on that
just
too.
me.
Video
I-
idea,
I-
Datto. It's a video idea.
I don't actually know, but it feels like you have much more time. And then Axis was, part one was just, okay, they added the turret, so you got to be more aware. Every 20 seconds, shoot the thing down. Okay. And then Axis, I really didn't have any idea what they were going to do for the heroic mode for Axis because it's just so action packed already. There's a lot of stuff going on already. So, the servitors was basically like the only thing, like, well, they could add more servitors, I guess. That was like maybe the one thing that I was thinking of, but I had no idea originally. And they just added more servitors, which, I mean, I think that portion of the raid is fun, bouncing around and heavy communication, getting people back and forth, blow up this servitor, blow up that servitor. And it's all about positioning and communication. And I really like that. But it definitely felt like things went easier as you went through the raid. Like Vosik, like double bombs, way more ads, everything hurts really bad. And then Siege is like, okay, a walker shows up. All right. And then Axis is just kind of like, just there's some turrets. Okay.
I was a little surprised that the turrets weren't in the second phase of Axis.
I was surprised with that as well.
Yeah.
It probably would have maybe not put an end to the whole sword thing, but it would have made people maybe a little bit more aware. But at the same time, they don't feel like they would be that deadly either. But maybe they could have. I definitely died to a turret a couple of times when I was running through all my characters. So that move did actually surprise me a little bit, that they put in the turrets and then they took them away.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, I mean, I guess I'm okay with that because the turrets are annoying to deal with, but yeah, that part surprised me. So,
it was
Vosik
surprising to me that the Vosik part, it kind of set a tone that I thought was pretty difficult, right? It's like we got into Vosik and, oh shit, this is for real now.
Yeah, this is
but
real.
Then we kind of coasted through the rest of the raid thinking, well, that was a bit disappointing.
Yeah, I kind of had that same feeling as well. Is Vosik was really bringing the heat. I'm like, oh man, maybe this is actually, it's gonna be something rough. And then
with Vosik, it felt like there was a lot more that changed. We had the monitors; they had significantly more health.
Yes.
Everyone had to target them down, whereas previously it was like one person could kind of shoot it down. There were 6 bombs that had to be thrown. And then you had to slide into the clean rooms as opposed to just
a little more minor change, but it was still fun. And then
it was a cool mechanic for
and
sure.
And the ads hurt.
Themselves.
They hurt so bad.
It also seems like the ad timers sped up as well, so they come quicker, and the bombs show up faster as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the bombs are in like the middle of nowhere, right?
Like a rush,
near. The bombs are in the middle of like where all the ads spawn sometimes, so it's really, really risky to get some of those bombs when they put them there.
Yep.
Whereas
there's been a little bit of heat on forums and on Reddit about that Vosik fight. People are saying it's too hard, but I kind of I disagree with that. I thought that the rest of the raid was too easy afterward. I thought the Vosik set the tone for it. It felt like Vault of Glass. Remember, with Vault of Glass, you're in there and you're doing the oracles, and there's snipers sniping at you. There just felt like there was a lot to manage.
Yeah.
Like in that portion of the raid, that Vosik fight felt like that. You had to manage the Siva charges, the ads, the doors, the monitors. Like it just felt like there's a lot of stuff going on, and it was exciting, and you had to communicate. But after that, it toned down quite a bit.
Yeah, total agreement. I thought maybe adding an extra part to the Siege engine was going to be part of the hard mode, and I thought that would have maybe spiced things up a little bit, because you couldn't just do 3 people, then 3 people, then it was like 4, and then 2, and then we gotta wait for these 2 to come back to and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And the Siege engine didn't really add too many more enemies to the encounter that I noticed. Maybe on like the very, very first part.
It took away 2 captains that drop in normal mode. Remember that?
Honestly,
yeah. They could have just kept the captains.
Yeah, I feel like the spider tank that comes down is a lot easier to take care of, because you're already getting, like, at the point that it comes down, you get the siege engine parts to the bridge. If you have a single bubble titan, you just pop bubble right there. Cool, you have a little fortress to then just destroy the walker with, if you've run the raid before, the machine gun, or pretty much anything else for that matter. Like,
turns out you don't have to. Turns out you also don't have to.
Yeah, you don't even have to kill it.
Yeah, you just
those
walk
little
right by
mites will hit like the core of the walker, sort of like the whole hitting the arc cannon deal. So that works as well. But yeah, you can just instantly blow up a leg with your entire team. We've killed the walker in 1 leg takedown. Before.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not really that bad. And you can just completely walk past it, but it's not even that big of a deal to just kill the thing in the first place.
I also noticed I when we first went in there, I was under 390, and then I got to go in there twice over 390, and it made a huge difference. that Vosik encounter.
Yes.
Yeah.
For Vosik.
Yep. Yeah. Vosik was very difficult under 390, and then as soon as I was over 390, I was like, oh, I can kill these death bombs finally, and I can survive a few more hits, and I can challenge the captain. Before I was like terrified of the captain.
Yeah.
390 helped a lot.
Yeah. But I enjoyed that because we lost that with the normal mode chase, right? Everyone could grind up to 385, which was max life. You could get over 385.
Yeah.
And the point of the day one raid pushes is the head against the wall struggle, just pounding your head against the wall, making everything work, and just being really, really solid. And when you completely out level the raid before it even comes out, it kind of just doesn't make it as fun. Whereas this time around, at least the highest you could be was like what, 387, 388. So you weren't actually over leveling it. You were kind of on pace with where it was. So that made the chase, a little more tense this time around.
A little more exciting.
Even if we did for all 30 minutes
in an hour.
It was what, like 42 minutes, something like that, for
something
like
42 or 45 minutes.
Yeah,
something crazy
for the first clear.
I remember we killed Vosik, and then I was like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna go get the next monitor," and then someone in the chat said, "Slayer Age just beat it." And I was like, "Oh, cool."
I was like,
well, no, I actually liked that because for us, like I don't think our group, for everyone listening, it was me, Tefty, Watts, and Breyer, and then Laughing Cheerio, one of the members of my raid, and for the other one of your mods, Watts.
Yep.
We all went in there, and we had a blast.
Yeah.
If anything,
we did have a good time.
Yeah. One of the big things that I see on the forums, like, oh, parts that were too easy, parts that were too hard. We didn't really care, I don't think, while we were running it. Like we had a blast just going in there. We were joking around the entire time. There was never a point where like we have to rush, we have to hurry, I'll concentrate on this. Like we just cracking jokes the entire time. And I don't know, I think we had a fantastic run. We were world's first to fun, as some of the other people always say.
That's really the way to do it, honestly.
Right.
I think it was a much better experience overall when we just went in there not trying to get world first. We just wanted to do it when it went live.
Yeah, I think for me, this raid is just a really fun raid. So being like, oh, this is too hard, this is too easy, it doesn't matter as much to me because the whole thing feels really good. So what hard mode did, I think, was kind of double down on what made the raid fun. And that is the constant movement and the communication and shouting it, making sure everyone's in the right place. I think it just made more of that. So if you enjoyed that about the raid, then hard mode just makes that happen more. So I think hard mode is just super fun. Like the end fight, end access stage, just so chaotic, and people calling out and having to have your communication so good and so on point is what makes it super fun.
Yeah,
I love
that. Even calms down once your team kind of figures out like their roles. Like if you have the same guys running it over and over again, that even slows down to the point where you find yourself communicating much less, as you just kind of look around. Like for the empowered guys, you kind of look around, you see where you need to be because there's not somebody there, and you just walk over there. And the Siva charges, you stop having to call them out because you find a spot where you can see where all three of the servitors spawn. So even that like initial like communication hijinks that you have in the beginning, that kind of cools out a little bit once you have a team that has done it a few times together.
Yeah,
I think it's
something I know. Oh, you go.
I was going to say, I think it's also really fun that there's more bombs to chuck. I mean, the first time you go through the raid, you get to chuck bombs at Vosik. You're like, whoa, this is awesome.
It feels really cool.
Yeah,
like, it feels really good.
Exactly. So you get to do even more of that in all the encounters that had bombs. And I actually really like, is it 7 or 8 bombs you have to chuck?
It's 7.
It's 7? It's officially 7? Because there's a lot of confusion on the internet right now. People are like, no, it's 6. This YouTuber said 6. This YouTuber said 7. This YouTuber, I think it's actually really cool that you have to coordinate 7 bombs for access on part 2 every time.
It doesn't really matter as long as you know when you need to throw the last one.
Exactly.
Right.
That's all that really matters.
Yeah, and that's very important, but it's also fun both for, I think, if you're chucking the bomb or getting the cannon, because as soon as I get the cannon, I'm like, oh, I'm looking for my next servitor flying around with it. I think it's a fun part. I personally enjoyed it.
Yeah. I love
something I've been stressing to my team a whole lot is just make sure you're not only looking at your role, but kind of be analyzing the entire room and all rolls at the same time. So that way, you know, if we do have someone die, like dude on the left dies and he was throwing the bombs, like, okay, dude in the middle automatically knows, okay, I got to go hop over to left and middle. I got to do both.
This raid teaches awareness very, very
right.
well.
It's all about aware. The more aware you are of not only your role, but the other roles that other people are doing in those lanes, and then the same role that those people are doing in those lanes, the more you can kind of just be hyper aware of everything that's going on and just instantly know what to do in case something goes wrong.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And
Pope,
the raids allow for recovery, which is nice.
Pope, have you had a chance to run the? I know you've run normal mode. Have you had a chance to take a look at the hard mode yet?
Well, so what I've had a chance to do is do the normal mode on my 3 characters, which is pretty good. And no, actually, I didn't do the Warlock. I purposely didn't do the Warlock because I wanted to not give my Warlock good stuff, to be honest with you. I just wanted to put Warlock in. I wanted to put Warlock in the corner. Warlock. And so I ran it a few times on my Hunter and my Titan, who are, you know, deserve to have that opportunity. And but it was a ton of fun, and everybody I raid with has done the hard mode a bunch of times. But my light level was just below where it would have been comfortable for me to be in there. I didn't want to be that guy that you're just dying all the time. And to be honest with you, I'm really excited watching and everybody else get a chance to do it. And I was watching and listening to Datto's videos about it, and it makes me excited for getting my light level up and getting ready to do it. So no, I haven't had a chance to do it. I'm really excited to do it, and I'm looking forward to taking everything that everybody's like learning and teaching me, and getting a chance to do it. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Now,
I just want to say, I'm with you on the whole I don't like Warlocks thing, but I do got to say, Warlock in full raid gear with the Beltane shader, they have a great sense of fashion. Oh my god, it looks awesome. It looks so awesome. Highly recommend that combo.
So I'm with you on that. I think I'm only with you though on the Beltane shader, because as soon as any other shader jumps on that raid gear, it is ugly, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it is straight up ugly.
It can get bad. But the Beltane, I like. It's the midnight black. It's got the white on it. The pants kind of turn brown, but you can't really see it too much through the robe. What's that
shader from?
There's a hint of
That's from
orange.
50 calcified fragmentos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that's the reward. Yeah.
You should have that.
It's a great shader, honestly.
You just never look at different shaders.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Yeah. I was using that, and I was using the rank 18 in the book shader on my Titan as well. Looks
I inspected your Titan while you had that on, because for some reason my chat was like, "Hey, inspect Datto's Titan." I was like, "Look good. Look good, man.
Titan.
Good look Titan."
When don't Titans look good? Let's be honest.
I mean, I was gonna say prior. I mean, a Titan, woke up one morning. I mean, we're just sexy beasts. I mean,
there's so many Titans in here. I just realized we're surrounded.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
Tefty, what are you? You're a Titan.
Yeah. What are you, Tefty?
What are you now?
Hunter.
You've been on your Warlocks. Okay.
Dude, I was 3 hunters day 1 for 6 months, man. Come on.
Yeah, but then you started Titan shotgunning.
That's no. No, Stormcaller shotgunning.
Yeah, you did.
Stormcaller shotgunning. There's a big difference. When you can map somebody in the next match, be like, hey, person I'm going to fight 10 minutes from now, zap, and you're dead. That's like, that's when you know something's up. Yeah.
No, I just, for the life of me, I can't get the Warlock jump down. I like almost everything else about the Warlock, but their jump feels so ridiculously it's just so frustrating to me.
When you're used to the Titan skating and the Titan jumping, it's just like you have a natural reaction where if you delay your jump, you jump, delay it, and start coming down. If you hit on the Warlock, you just keep going down. Whereas with the Titan, you go straight, and you just have that expectation of going straight. and then you fall down like an idiot, and then
Yeah, what's up with that?
I do it all the time. All the time.
Why do you glide down when you're a warlock?
I don't know.
It should give you like a
Well,
boost.
you're a glider.
Like a boost.
Here's an example. The first hidden chest, when you're jumping all the way through, if you jump up as a warlock too high, you might hit your head on something. So I kind of just do like that jump and then skate across like with my Titan. But if I do that with the warlock on accident, I just start going down. And
Guardian down. Guardian down.
Guardian down.
It's just a reflex at this point.
He's the warlock is just floaty McFloaterson, and I don't like that you're just so exposed all the time. I mean, I feel like you take so much damage just from like you're like get down,
fall down.
Damn it, just go down there.
I did
Wilson's in the
like the
chat
warlock
right
jump
now
on this
saying
week's
it's the
Nightfall
Princess
though.
Peach chat. Or the
Princess Peach
jump.
float. It is. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it is.
Wow.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true, actually. Good one. That's a good
It's really frustrating, but it's I love of all the jumps. To be honest with you, the one that I like the most is the triple jump from the hunter.
You're damn right.
I really love that kind of sparrow like feel. You know,
Natural
and
is what the
just,
word is. Natural.
Yes.
It makes sense.
Natural.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like it in PvP too because it kind of each time you hit that jump button, you're changing the verticality of where your head is. It makes you, I feel, a harder target than a Titan.
Yeah.
Even though you're coming in really fast, your head is pretty much, it's either going up slowly, going down slowly, or staying at the same plane.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually change levels every time you hit the jump button.
And if we're and if just for a second, if we talk about like levels, I mean, getting ready for the raid, I really enjoy the way that this expansion is providing leveling at a realistic, manageable rate. When I get on to play in the morning, I know that I'm going to have an activity that I can play, that I'm going to get rewards that are meaningful. And it's for a player that it's really cool. I jump on, I do get the legendary, the dailies done, and doesn't have a lot of time to play. It is, and then I can choose throughout the week, I can choose my weekly rewards to go and get that stuff that I want to rank up with. And it just feels like as I'm playing, I'm meeting the light level that that they're intending me to have, right? Without having to feel like I'm wholly underpowered. I have something to look forward to bring my light level up to raid. And I'm not that far off. I'm 371.
I wish that we could have experienced that with you because my biggest problem with when the raids come out is that they just force us to like go through content so fast and just focus on leveling that you can spend very little time just kind of enjoying the progress of the new DLC and the story. And I really can't stand that. If the normal raid came out a week or 2 weeks after the release of a new DLC, and then the hard mode raid, we had a few weeks in between that, like I feel like we just get more enjoyment out of the DLC in total, as opposed to just having to do this all-out grind. And it would give them more time to kind of say, wait a minute, there's this like huge gap that people are hitting because they can't get ghosts, or oh man, everybody's farming Omnigul and leveling up way too quick, and they're all going to enter the raid at like way over the level we intended. It'd give them a little bit of time to kind of sort that stuff out too.
I've enjoyed that as I'm playing it. Like I'm playing the campaign on my second character on my hunter now. I just started it, and I'm playing it with my wife and son, and we are playing through for the first time on our second, and I'm really getting a chance to enjoy the story missions. And we just activated the Fellwinter's Peak, the fires. I mean, that's really where I'm at, and it is a beautiful experience because I'm not rushing through it. I have the eyes of a 9-year-old and a person that has never played any Destiny games, looking around and going, "Oh, look at that!" And I'm not used to like experiencing things that way in this game, and now I'm getting a chance to do that. So it's more than just the leveling process, Briar. It's actually enjoying the levels themselves.
Right.
Like you're not just grinding to grind out the to get the reward. I'm playing these missions and we're listening to the cutscenes, and it's just, I'm actually very much enjoying Rise of Iron. My
Enjoying
second
the Destiny
time through.
experience.
Yeah,
Right.
The true
for,
Destiny
for real,
experience.
for real,
Yeah.
for real,
Yeah.
for
It's
real.
just an unfortunate side effect of being in YouTube land, right? Because
Yeah.
if you want to be able to keep up, you got to be the one to first play everything. You gotta get all the stuff. You gotta show how everyone else can get it. But then at least you're maybe sort of giving those other people that kind of experience where if they get stuck or they don't know how to do something or they want to figure out how to do something, you can at least show them how to do it and give
Take
them
the frustration
that whole,
aspect away.
Right. You kind of give them that, wow, look at that. Oh, look at this thing experience for them. So
Totally.
it's a give and a take.
It is a give and
Datto,
take.
what did-
I think
What
also.
did you think? I'm sorry, Tufty, go ahead.
I think also they could strike some sort of balance between the power leveling and also the ability to give everybody a way to max light level, and also have raid matter or raid light matter. I think there's some sort of balance they could do. I think they did it better with the heroic mode this time around, because you're absolutely right. The farm nickel path, and then also the fact that there was a glitch that was getting above 385 was a problem for the first time going into normal mode. I don't necessarily want them to do that again, but at the same time, like in Pope's experience, it was a very positive way to be able to level up and experience the game and have all these different avenues to get light level. And that's part of the big problems that they've had in the past, is that people complain that there's not enough avenues to get to light level raid ready, so you just focused on one very narrow path. Now we have like Crucible, Archon's Forge, Strikes, like there's all kinds of places, faction packages that are giving us light level rewards. There's got to be some sort of balance that they could do somewhere in there.
Yeah.
That would also
Yeah.
make sense with how much time it takes versus your ability as either a solo player or somebody in a clan to be able to get all
Well, that
these type of
farm niggle
rewards.
thing was a major oversight.
It
Yes,
was
huge.
I don't
It
know
was.
why it was around for as long as it was. Like
Right.
they have to have known about it for months. Like when was
I
the first
mean-
time Triple did his like
I think
24
that was
hour
a year ago.
Omnigul stream?
right.
Yeah.
It was a
trying
long
to get
time
Grasp
ago.
Malak. Like how long ago was that? It was like last year. And they
Well,
it's
knew
been a
that
while.
that was
Yeah.
a problem.
Yeah.
And
2 blues.
Two Blues took
Yeah, they-
off
they
after the
completely-
April
right up
update.
to 365 in an hour and a
Right.
half or whatever.
And
Yeah.
it's now October. And it's
Yeah.
they had a long time. They knew that it was a thing. Maybe they didn't think that it would drop light level relevant blues. I don't know, but it's super weird for them to completely look over that, because as we could tell by the fact that they didn't allow you to turn in engrams and get to up to 400 light for hard mode, they clearly did not want people to go in there at 385 for normal mode. It's not something
Right.
that they
Yeah.
wanted. So
Yeah.
it's really weird that they completely didn't even think about
Well,
What
it.
do
I
you
mean,
guys think
it's
of the
just-
time it took to complete it? I mean, what do you think of it? There's been some conversations, right, Briar? Like in the community about is this raid too long or too short?
Yeah,
The di-
certainly.
What did hard mode take for you, Datto? What did hard mode take?
We were in there for an hour and 19 minutes, and we were sucking on Bostic pretty bad. So
do you
I think we could have got through it much faster, and I think we placed 18th in the world.
Is this what you're looking for in a raid from Bungie? Is this satisfying from your experience in maybe other video games that you may have played that also have raids?
Are you insinuating perhaps a certain Blizzard?
No.
Blizzard
like-
chat?
No,
No,
God, no.
I was
This is
I
not
would
a
never be
Sombra
doing
chat,
that.
guys. This
Then
is not
during
a
my time
Sombra
with
podcast.
Terra, no, no, it's. I
can
mean,
you
I've
compare?
kind of learned what to expect from Bungie with regards to anything hard mode, heroic mode. It's like we know that they're going to tweak one minor thing, and that's going to be the end of it. Would I like to bash my head against a wall a little bit more? Sure, that's just who I am, though. I'm used to that kind of content, that kind of play style. So I would always love for things to be more difficult, even more difficult, and but at the same time, it's just what I've come to expect at this point. And also with regards to like, is the raid too easy, too short, and stuff like that. I mean, obviously one of the problems was people were able to get to 385 before the normal mode even came out. But I think it's also the fact that we've gotten sort of used to how Bungie designs raids. Like we kind of know what to look out for at this point. We know that bosses are going to have an immunity phase, and you need to figure out how to take the shield off. And then once you take the shield off, you get to damage them for a little bit, and then something happens, and you got to do it again.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the rhythm that they've been able to get into, because I mean, it's something that works. First of all, I think if you had the boss vulnerable the entire time, people would just end up trying to ignore everything and practice that everyone's gotten. King's Fall was a very big lesson in mechanics, and they said, yeah, we're going to tone that down a little bit for Wrath of the Machine. And it's just people getting better and people getting more experience with what Bungie is probably going to put out based on what they know works. So I think for a raid to take longer, Bungie would kind of have to change up their game plan from what they normally do for a raid, which has become this kind of formulaic, boss has a shield, take off the shield, shoot him for 30 seconds, run and hide, something bad's going to happen, and then keep going. That's why I like something like
the puzzle aspect of King's Fall. While I found King's Fall to be boring a little bit, especially in the long term, because there's so much just standing around. The puzzle aspect of it was very engaging, and there wasn't a whole lot of that in this raid, in the Wrath of the Machine. You kind of figured out the charge things, like just to get into the raid, and then you just kept going back to those over and over again. You used them during 4 different encounters during the raid.
Well, that's another part of their formula is introduce a mechanic and then put it throughout the entire raid.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's why I like Golgoroth so much, is that Golgoroth, he had an immunity period, but it kind of changed up the formula a little bit. The bouncing back and forth, and it wasn't like a shield or anything like that. And there wasn't something that killed you every single time that you lost the gaze or something like that.
Right.
And there was a lot of back and forth, and I really enjoyed Golgoroth for that reason. So I think, I think now that Bungie kind of knows, like, okay, this is what we know works, but maybe if we can experiment more with something else and hopefully get that to work, we can see more innovation in terms of, those puzzle-like mechanics that are still like Wrath of the Machine, and that they are fun to do, communication-based, but still rewarding as you gear up, as opposed to King's Fall with like Oryx, where it's always going to take 10 minutes every single time, no matter what.
Yep.
Those are a lot of what took the King's Fall Raiders so much time to get through, right? Is you had to figure out that Golgoroth fight, and it wasn't apparent. Once you knew how to do that, and you had a raid team that everybody knew how to do it, going through that Golgoroth fight doesn't take that long. But that first time, it might have taken you an hour, it might have taken you 3 hours. It took a while just to figure it out. And it just never felt like in Wrath of the Machine there was any part that we sat there for an hour just kind of stumped. How do we get this done?
So
my team had that like we were stuck on Oryx for I don't even know how long, because it was just like, how the hell do we damage this dude? Like what? What do we do?
Yeah.
And there was never that period. It's
my impression is that
is this and okay.
My impression is that Bungie heard criticism, and this might be completely false, but that they heard criticism that it was too mechanics heavy, and they took that to mean that they had to pull back on some of that. But I think really what the criticism was is that we just spent too much time standing in one spot firing during that raid.
Yeah,
and I think we might have vocalized that wrong as a community, because like I do like the puzzle aspect of figuring out those raid mechanics. What I didn't like in King's Fall was just standing still shooting.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we might need to be more clear with Bungie.
I also think that not being able to actually do damage to Oryx's health bar was a big mistake as well. Because when you're in a raid, there's a serious satisfaction when you learn how to maximize your DPS. And that's what's happening right now with Axis and Vostok and all that.
Yeah.
We didn't get any of that with Oryx. So it was like you just have to ignite these bombs every single time.
Every single time.
Yeah, and like you said, it's a guaranteed 10-minute encounter if you're going to do this properly. Yeah. And that kind of took the it took the min-maxing out of it from the long run. Right now, we're going to be excited to try to like one phase Axis sometime in the future. Just like we get excited at one phasing Atheon, and
Crota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Vault of Glass, Holtz, you talk. You've been trying to get it.
Like, keep in mind that this raid, every time they design a raid, they sometimes actually talk about like the theme that they wanted to design it on. And like Vault of Glass was Descend. I don't remember what Crota over action. This one was Collision. And while there were a lot of criticisms about standing still too much in Kingsfall, this one, as far as the initial theme, was built with a lot of movement in mind. As far as the actual, I guess I lost my train of thought there. Okay.
Well,
whatever.
let me ask you, Patrick. So with this raid coming up, something we've seen since, like Datto's pointed out, Bungie's kind of falling into a formula with its raids. Are we going to see a challenge mode? And how would they challenge us in these heroic modes?
I've thought about
how
this.
would they challenge?
Yeah, we
Patrick?
should talk about that for sure.
Oh yeah, go for it, Pat. Sorry.
Well, I actually haven't given much thought to this at all. As far as what I'm interested on challenge modes is not necessarily the mechanics, but are they going to make the challenge mode thing relevant? In chat today when I was streaming, a bunch of people were discussing it, and they're like, "Oh, what if on phase 2 of Vosic, the turrets actually come back?" And it is like I feel like yes, that would be a challenge to have to deal with. I also feel like they're gonna keep the same design principle of challenge mode being something you opt into doing.
Right.
So
Right.
if everyone that week had to deal with those turrets being there, that would be unbelievably frustrating, because as much as we could probably deal with it, we're the 1% of Destiny. Basically Reddit is the 1% of Destiny. If you're watching a stream, you're probably part of the 1% of Destiny in a sense. You're very informed about what's going on. Other people that are just using the LFGs or just trying to find groups in the tower, that would absolutely stonewall that group if that were the case.
I'm already hearing about groups that will literally just quit at Axis Phase 2.
Yeah,
They'll just
absolutely.
stop and leave because they don't want to do it.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Wow.
I've seen that come up in my chat quite a bit, and like just go through the YouTube comments on any raid guide, and it's like, God, I get to this fight and every single group falls apart.
Yeah.
That sucks, man.
It's too bad.
Yeah, and as much as we talk about, hey, this raid, it was easy or something like that, that's not the case for
Most people.
90% of the game.
Yeah.
90%
for real.
of the game.
Seriously.
So, the challenge mode itself, I have no idea what it's going to be. I just hope that they keep the same mechanic that they did in Kingsfall of it being opt-in, because I can tell even in Kingsfall, some weeks I didn't feel like doing the damn Golgoroth challenge. I didn't want to do that.
I never minded
just
that one. Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah,
fun. I thought it was the most fun way to do the fight is rotating people in and out.
Yeah.
Then again, I used all 6 orbs, but either way, it's still fun.
Brutal.
I thought.
Yeah,
So-
I think the only way that they could do challenge mode and have it actually be challenging rather than just do this a certain way is if when you load up, you get to choose from normal mode, hard mode, and challenge mode. Like it has to be a
interesting.
selectable thing, and that would be the only way that they could
Yeah.
make it be super difficult.
Do you think they're
because
actually-
then
Do you think they're actually going to change it though? Because challenge mode.
No,
from
but I
before-
would
doubt
love
it.
to see it.
Yeah.
I would love to see it, but I don't think
I don't-
that's something that
I would love that too. If they don't,
I would love it.
If they don't, here's what I've thought, because I've given this a little bit of thought. I think every bomb has to connect. So for Vosic, you can't miss a bomb. I think that's the thinking through. It's either that or the clean rooms. Like if you can only use one clean room at a time, or I mean not at a time, but you can only use it once for a challenge mode.
Yeah,
That's
so
a
you have to
possibility.
2-cycle him.
Yeah, exactly. 2-cycle. Or every bomb has to connect. For the siege tank, I think you can't pick up a part twice. Or maybe you can
there
only
will
pick
be
up a
even
part
more
once.
lag.
5 FPS.
There will be more
the
bugs.
whole time.
We're taking more frames away from you.
Yes.
Like, you don't need them.
Oh my gosh. And then for Axis Part 2, I think it's going to have to be like it's either going to be bombs again, like all 9 bombs have to connect every single time, or possibly having to 2-phase them.
I always thought it'd be cool to have those servitors shoot back. What?
It is
Why are these the only
in
servers
hard
that don't
mode.
shoot?
Right.
I thought that was gonna happen in
It
hard
would-
mode.
it would-
Actually,
It would be
Yeah.
cool,
sure.
but that's not really an opt-in thing.
What
Right,
if-
it
what-
has to be the same.
Yeah, it'd have to be an
Yeah.
opt-in thing. What if it was something like that? Once you became, that you can't opt in.
Speaking of Axis opt-in, I mean, this is actually something I was surprised they didn't use in hard mode. Is supercharging the Guardians.
Mhm.
Like you can still
Power pit.
totally ignore it. Like you don't need it.
Yeah.
You just ignore it. So maybe
that's
for challenge.
That's an opt-in thing.
It
You gotta
is,
dunk
right.
it a certain amount of
It has to
times.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's
So
true.
That's something that they could use quite easily that they haven't actually used yet because you can just ignore it.
Yeah,
Very
you're right.
true.
Those pads could involve challenge mode. You're right.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, because right now you just straight up ignore them still.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird. It's weird
Yeah.
having something in a raid encounter that you're just like,
Yeah, so you don't need it. I've been trying to practice just to like further
Mhm.
increase awareness and just like personal
Yeah.
skill. And it's really good for like trying to min-max your damage. You know, you get a tether on there every single time, or you make sure you have bubbles every single time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just totally ignore it.
I accidentally did it reloading a weapon in our actual kill attempt. Like I was just, I was like, okay, yeah, reload my hit. What? Oh yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
There were a lot of accidents in that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, in our first kill attempt, Briar, you're like, yeah, I got it, and then you just like Titan skate into his side. You're like, oh, I don't got it.
Bye.
Didn't duck it.
I'm telling you, that's why I've actually switched to blink for warlocks, because blink you can get there quicker, and also you don't like do the dumb like I'm just gonna glide up and then clip his side thing as a
Yeah.
warlock.
oh, you
It's
get
so
stuck on the
annoying.
leg. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, me too.
If you blink, it's fantastic. You can like just Nova bomb a captain and then
Interesting.
blink directly on his back.
I like
It's
it.
pretty good.
Yeah, I might have to try it.
I think this raid for me as a person who, I can't spend 5 hours to do a raid
Yeah.
is great. Honestly, I get on, my raid team gets on at 8:30, and we're done by with hanging out in the tower and shooting the shit and just doing our thing. We're done by 10.
Yeah.
So that's
it's nice.
fun.
It is nice. It's
That's
nice
great
that
for when you
people can
know
get
how to
home
do
from
the
work.
raid, but during the first week, I'd like a little more challenge. Like when we're still under leveled, and we still don't know exactly what the mechanics are. In King's Fall, there was a long time where I'm pretty sure I knew what most of the mechanics were. I was a little flaky on some of them, but I could get through it. Like, I don't know. This one, it just feels like it's so cut dry, and you just kind of just keep pushing through.
Yeah.
Uh,
the game basically just like lays out all the parts for you instead of like hiding them, and you need to go at least find the parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that literally like with Siege Engine.
But you do.
It's like I mean they did it's just like there you go, like take a guess, genius. Like what do you gotta do? Like,
I understand the
like,
struggle
balls
of the player.
fall from the sky. Like what do you do? I don't know, I'm gonna throw them at something. It's
I understand the
pretty laid
struggle
out.
yeah.
of a player who only's got 5 hours a week. I do. But I also want there to be end game content for the people who do play 20 hours a week.
And
I
that's what
want
I
there
wish
to be that
challenge
thing.
mode would be. I wish challenge mode could be, normal, hard, challenge. It makes it more challenging. You have to do it in specific ways, and then you opt in before you go in, and therefore it could be super hard for the people that want it to be really difficult.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was a little skeptical when I saw that they were splitting up the weapons Crota style, where some of the weapons were normal mode, some of the weapons were hard mode. I didn't think that was necessarily a good idea, because I'm okay with hard mode being content that not everybody can complete. And to lock something away, like a weapon away, I thought, even though I didn't like the weapons in King's Fall, it was nice that, you just got a black version. It was cooler, whatever. It wasn't functionally that much different. But in Crota is if you couldn't beat that hard mode, then there were just weapons that you weren't going to get. And in this one, if you can't beat that hard mode, there's stuff that you aren't going to get.
I think that's okay though. I mean, that's why
I'm
that's
I'm
why
kinda okay with that
Fatebringer
as well.
Yeah, that's why Fatebringer, Praetorian Foil, and a few other pieces were just like legendary. In legendary, not in the sense of the rarity, but legendary in the sense
They're
of
just
community.
purple. I don't know.
All right,
They
First
were, like,
of all-
legendary throughout the community, because it was like, oh my
Yeah.
god, you got the Fatebringer. It's because it was
Yeah.
so freaking rare to drop. And if you got the Praetorian Foil, it was like you clearly worked for Bungie and had something applied to your account for it to
It took me
drop.
2 years to get a Praetorian foil.
Yeah. That was exciting because they were very
Yeah.
rare weapons to actually have drop for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
I'm
but
kinda
looking
okay with
behind the
that.
hard mode, I almost feel like that requires them to make the hard mode a little bit easier. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
I just, we always talk about I always talk at least about things wanting to be harder. And I think when people say that they want things to be harder and they're kind of part of that 1%, I feel like they're trying to say, of this even upper echelon of people, only a fraction of those people should be able to even do something. And it's like, as much as I would like that, I guess it's probably not reasonable for Bungie to specifically design something like that for those
Yeah.
kind of people. Because we think, since we're on the internet so much, it's like, yeah, everybody's got
Right.
Outbreak Prime. Everyone's doing the hard mode. Who cares? It's so far away from that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I'm
It's
excited
not
to-
even close.
I'm still working on my Thorn bounty. I'm still working on my Outbreak Prime bounty. I'm still working on getting my light level up to hard mode. But here's what's exciting: people who don't play as much as the YouTubers and that 1%. They're okay with waiting to complete the hard mode later, because I think
Yeah.
that's when the hard mode was meant to be completed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, it's a bell curve, right?
Yeah,
People
it's
at the very
fun.
end,
I'm
they
not.
complete it right away, and then everybody gets it, and then the last people kind of trickle in.
I'm excited. I'm
Yeah, you're
excited. I completely agree, Briar. There has to be you have to take care of, and that's that delicate balance that a game developer has to figure out how to do.
Yeah.
They got to take care of their entire community, and it's tough. It's a
It is
hard
tough.
job.
I would love to see a PvE equivalent of Trials of Osiris and the Lighthouse.
I'd like to see a PvP equivalent of Outbreak Prime.
Fair
I
point.
would
You
too.
get a lot. You get a lot more people complaining about that.
Oh, I know.
People hate that they have to go into the Crucible for Thorn. You think you're
Right.
complaining
I know.
now? You can play year 1, 500 void points. Get out of my face. And you lost progress when you died.
Oh,
You
God.
did, yeah. You lost progress.
That was
when you
annoying.
died.
Jesus.
That was
Oh, yeah.
hilarious.
I gotta say, I actually got the Thorn bounty this week, finally, after like 58 Shiro bounties, and I was kind of dreading doing that part, but then the chat was
so
like,
much easier this year.
"Oh yeah, you it doesn't matter, you can die," and it doesn't. I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I was kind of looking
It's kind
forward
of like
to
this, like, oh.
I was
Okay.
saving like really specific weapons. Like, cool, I got a void damage god roll shotgun if I need to use that. I got a void damage 1,000-yard. I got my havoc pigeon, which is void damage. I got my word of Crota just in case. I went out, got one of those. I got some good heavies. It just didn't matter. It just didn't matter. Just go in mayhem clash and throw wombo combos for like 10 games, and I was good.
I completed mine in Iron Banner.
Oh, fun.
Nice.
I did mine in Iron Banner too. I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
void shotgun primary. You're good to go.
Yeah.
I used my sniper, I think.
Oh, I
That was
didn't do it in
sniper.
Iron Banner. I used Atheon's epilogue as a primary, so I didn't do it in
Ah.
Yeah, I
Banner.
didn't.
Which
know.
is good now. When you first had Atheon's epilogue for PvP, it was bad.
Yes.
During year
yes.
one, it was. Ugh.
Yeah, but the game was so much easier in year one. Like it was PvP was so much easier. Atheon's epilogue
actually-
was fine.
Using, I was
Yeah.
using Atheon's epilogue, and I was like, this thing is not. I mean, at least compared to all the other weapons now, because like back in year 1, in the very beginning, like nobody knew how to play. No one knew what they were doing. Like it didn't matter. Like everyone was still learning the game, so you could reasonably get kills with it. Now, weapon quality across the board is so much higher than it was in year 1. Not to
Yeah.
mention that everyone is way better than they were in year 1.
Plus, everyone knows what perks. Like everyone
Yeah.
knows exactly what
Yeah.
perks are good.
And
Way
so
higher
it was
than it
just
was.
like,
Skill-based
I was still using
matchmaking,
Atheon's
honestly.
epilogue, but it was like, ugh, this thing is still pretty rough to use.
It's actually really funny going back and looking at old Crucible footage.
Oh God!
And I
no.
was looking at it and I'm like, these people should not be in the lobby with me because they're just standing there looking really confused and kind of like turning around like, oh.
I
Yeah,
thought that's why you
the most
called us
fun
the Lamb
part of the
Squad.
game.
They are. Look at this little lamb sitting here, about to get shot by a thorn.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is why skill-based matchmaking is a thing. Okay.
I found some year 1 footage. I think it was in like one of the first. It was during Dark Below. And like you think back, you're like, man, I was pretty good at PvP. And I went back and watched it. It was on Twilight Gap, and I was hard scoping the sniper nest that went and looked to the heavy on the inside spawn. I was just like hard scoping that for 6 of the 10 minutes of the match, and I was like, oh god, Pat. Oh,
For me, it was like, oh, I used to be really good. And it's like, no, everyone was just really bad. They didn't jump around
no
corners
one-
with their shotguns. They
Yeah.
just like wandered in.
Right.
People didn't really understand how the radar worked. Like, they
Yep.
no idea.
it
So
was bad.
yeah,
It was bad.
yeah.
That's the most fun of any new game's life, though, right? Is like
Right.
when
Oh, yeah.
no one has a clue
Yes.
what they're doing. Like I hopped in early enough with like League of Legends that I was in that kind of phase where it's like nobody knows what to do and we're just killing and just having fun and whatever. And like those are always the most fun times in
Yeah.
any
For sure.
game. It's just when no one has a clue about anything that's happening, and you can
That's
That's
just
why I'm
why
kind of
I'm-
excited about Battlefield 1 right now.
That's why I'm kind
Yeah,
of
kinda-
excited for Destiny 2 clean slate if that happens.
Yes.
Destiny
If that
2.
happens.
Do you guys think actually, like, if there is a clean slate, do you think we're gonna
Yeah.
have that type of renaissance of a quote unquote Destiny year one again, or do you think
Do
all
it.
this knowledge is gonna transfer over? And
Well,
it's gonna
just
be
not
like,
knowing
Some of
it will.
all of the exotics before they come out would be nice. You know,
Yes,
remember in
yes.
Destiny Year 1, like you
Yeah.
got an exotic weapon, you're like, holy shit, what is this thing?
Right,
Yeah,
or you
but-
get killed by something and you're like, what is that? Where'd
Yeah.
you get
Yeah.
that?
the perks though,
Oh.
like perk awareness is so much higher right now. Like again, when you look at year one footage and what people might have been using back then compared to now,
Mhm.
everybody is
Mhm.
so much more educated about the game.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, it's going to go one of two ways. You know, they'll take the Taken King route, or they'll take the Rise of Iron route, right? Taken King's like, we got a new system that we want to do. It's all new stuff. We figured it out. We're going to try this thing now, and fresh slate, leave all that other junk behind, and we're going to try this now. Or they can do Rise of Iron. It's like, okay, we figured everything out. We like what we have going, so here's just more of it. So I think it's going to be one of those two ways that they handle Destiny.
I
I,
hope it's
I think
new.
it's going to be the Taken King, but I think it's going to be much deeper than that. You know?
Yeah,
I
me
do
too.
as well. I think so as well.
The only way they're going to be able to do that is by having like a prequel or something where it takes it out of the time and space. Like, I mean,
Nah,
why else?
Any
Why else?
stupid excuse. Oh, the Cabal attacked the tower. Your vault is destroyed.
yeah. They destroyed all of our Guardians.
Come on,
vault
they've been
space.
making sequels where you lose all your weapons and power for 30 years. They can
yeah.
pluck at will
do
from the
it. They can do
storyline
it.
they
So,
want.
Bungie, I'm if you're listening, I am Briar's agent. So if you want to contact him for any writing or ideas for Destiny 2, please see my people.
I for one hope we don't get a clean slate because I don't think I can play this game on a hunter without Bones of AO. For
You got to
any
get used
extent.
to it, Patrick.
I can't.
I did it for 2 days. I took
They'll
them
bring
off
him
for
back
2
in
days.
year
I forced
6.
myself.
It's fine.
I can't.
Yeah, year
I can't.
6
I
they come
forced
back.
myself for 2 days,
I
Patrick.
can't.
Pat,
I
Have you
can't.
tried for 2 days?
I tried for about 5 minutes and I almost
See,
I
that's
like,
not-
I
that's not
almost
too days.
uninstalled the game.
Pat.
I
That's
almost
not 2
uninstalled the game.
the other thing too, Pat,
What if
you got to
in
use
Destiny 2,
your
they
bow
don't even have
on
double jump.
bosses.
Nah, man, Golden Gun.
You got to use that bow, man.
Nah, man,
The
dude,
DPS.
you know why Golden Gun was so good? Because it's like, oh, I need to kill the captain in that one phase. Oh, that monitor's been
Use
up
a
for
sword.
too long. Golden Gun. You can't use a sword to kill the monitor.
Oh, use a
You
sniper
know, it's
for
like-
that.
Could try, I guess.
No,
Sounds
no,
like an
it-
excuse to me.
Yeah, it does sound like an excuse. I should.
That
work
is
on
excuse.
It
that.
sounds like a
I've
crush.
shotgun monitors before.
Yeah,
I've done
and,
it.
and then and you know, it's like, oh, that captain that comes out and it's like, oh, I just use Golden Gun, kill the captain. It's really nice. No,
Yeah, it's
Golden
really nice
Gun
for you. The rest of your team is like, oh, it'd be nice if
we
a
had
Night
2
Stalker.
people.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if we're doing
people
35% more
with
damage
tethers.
right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, 2
It'd
people
be
with
so cool if we had a
Min-maxing the
teammate who cared about
damage.
the rest of the team.
I had my Bones AO on. I was living the dream and living in my own little world. It was great. Raid's fantastic. If you can get through the raid without having to like min max your group to have like, oh, you know, every single hunter needs to be Night Stalker, every single Titan needs to be Defender, every single Warlock needs to be, I don't know, Sunsinger to get increased damage or whatever they do. You know, I think that's great. That's one of the things I really enjoyed about this raid, that you can basically spec whatever you want to. It's definitely suggested that you go, you know, the best thing for PvE, but you know, you can still get through it if your group's
Totally.
good enough.
I've
By the-
played every single subclass on every single encounter on my Titan. I love how versatile it is.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way,
Thank you
somebody
very
said
much,
in
Dad.
somebody said in chat, Boltcaster. You can sword
For
the
the monitors?
captains and bolt cast
Yeah.
the monitors. Let's
This
go.
is true.
There
I
you
want to
go.
do it.
Hey,
Hey,
Datto.
That's a compromise
Datto.
right there.
Yeah, Datto, how's the Boltcaster's damage again?
But
Not
what is its
good.
damage to monitors?
Yeah, that was
You
the
can-
Marvel
Datto,
Datto,
version.
you make a video on it.
Let's get those.
I
numbers.
imagine by the time the little lightning ball actually gets to the monitor, it would probably already be dead.
Also,
Not if
You
everyone's
gotta
using
account for
Chromecast.
travel time.
yeah,
Listen.
the aim assist on the bolt thing is also so heavy that it would probably it would go one
Oh,
way and
yeah.
it would just and hit the
It's
boss.
like, oh, Vossic's right here.
Yeah.
yeah.
Even though Bullcaster's nowhere near the proper DPS, it is probably the most fun DPS to do to Vosic,
Oh, yeah.
both in the beginning
It's fun.
and on the second part of Vosic. Very fun.
I don't know. Spin to win is pretty fun.
Well, you can't
It's
spin to
great.
win
I
Vosic,
can read
though.
chat.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I can
Classic, sorry.
I'm just
Not with that
pressing
attitude.
RT. Reading chat.
I haven't
talking
tried
to
yet.
people.
I tried.
Hey,
I
Barry,
died.
You want to talk about something you love?
Are we at that stage of the podcast? Yes,
Already?
I didn't even get.
I don't know.
Oh, we
Have we
could go.
talked about the
hour.
weekly update at all?
Oh, yeah, it's the weekly update.
Nothing
to get to,
happened.
actually.
I was disappointed. I wanted to know when I was going to get ornaments, and I don't, so I'm sad.
Okay. So yeah, one thing in the weekly update, we don't know when Festival of Loss is coming. Chances are it's going to come like next week or the week after, most likely, because the reset for this. For next week is on the 777th day that Destiny has been out.
Oh,
So
snap.
I feel like something's gonna happen.
That's a big
Yeah.
number. Can you
I know,
believe
that's-
I've been playing
that is-
I
Destiny
feel like you've been
for
saying that.
777
You've been
big
saying that
number.
every single week. It's like,
Uh.
well, I had 4 cups of coffee today, so I think something's gonna happen. Like something is gonna happen. I don't know, but I will say next week is the most likely.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
something is going to happen. Either Festival of Loss is going to come out, or maybe guys, it's going to be a new exotic.
Yes.
Exotic, guys. Get the tinfoil hats ready.
What's
Yeah,
I
honestly,
what's
really
the
want.
rocket
I
launcher?
hope
Festival?
there's something.
Do you guys honestly think that Festival would come out next week without them announcing in the weekly update beforehand?
I
that's
think
important.
that it could have its own announcement, just because they don't want it to be within the weekly update for people to have to go and find it. That I could see them being like, Festival of Loss returning tomorrow, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's nicer just kind of springing it on people, right?
I do
Because that was
too.
just kind of a problem that they had, that a lot of people had with the SRL when they announced it last year at
Uh-huh.
PlayStation Experience.
Well,
PlayStation
yeah.
experience.
Yeah. And like everyone was expecting this big grand thing, and then they announced
That's
SRL, and it's cool. But I feel like if they just would have like sprung it on people like the day before, like, by the way, SRL is coming, everyone would be like, "What? That's so cool!" Ah!"
That's true.
And
Yeah.
but because they announced it in a way that was like everyone was expecting the next big thing to happen,
Yeah.
everyone's kind of like,
And it was
Like,
announced at the
okay.
same time that we got the DLC Dark Below. You know?
right, yeah. So
Previously.
everyone's expecting this kind of Dark Below like thing, and
Yeah.
and then we got SRL, which was fun. You know, I don't have anything against SRL, but I think
No.
maybe keeping it on the low and just kind of springing it on people would generate more excitement, because it's just like you don't know it's coming at all, and it's just a completely unexpected thing, and it's
That's how they did
I
it
don't
the first
That's
year,
for
right?
fun.
Is you just showed up in the tower and like, hey, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, they changed everything.
think so.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
I
was all
like
That's
that.
decorated.
pretty cool. I like that. I do like that.
The only
Well-
the only criticism that came out from, if I remember correctly, one of the criticisms that came out is that people that were going out of town, or they wanted to be a part of that activity, they couldn't, and
But they
because of one
cancel
thing or
their
the
out
other.
of town plans.
Well, they need to start playing
Bring up
Destiny on
PS4
their
and Xbox
Nintendo
with them.
Twitch.
I think we call those
or
people
Nintendo
casuals.
Switch or whatever it's called.
The Switch. Yeah.
That way they can take their Switch with them.
True.
Right.
Keep playing Destiny.
That's true.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I also think it would be really awkward for them to release it after Halloween with
That
a
would
thing
be
called
Hey guys,
Yeah.
let's celebrate
Lost.
Halloween.
Yeah, there's a very specific window they have starting next Tuesday, and it's 7 days until Halloween. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's like, pretty sure it's coming.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just want those new ornaments. I really do. I am as excited.
Those
I
are
will
cool.
use-
deleted a Nemesis Star with an ornament in it because I got a
Oh.
higher level one, and I just automatically dismantled the old one because I want the extra shards. Please fix.
I did that with
Oh.
Hawkmoon. I spent $70 to get Moonglow. I got it. I put it in Hawkmoon, and I deleted the Hawkmoon because it was the lower light.
Oh wow.
It's just a
Oh.
natural reflex. It's just a pure natural reflex at this point. I completely forgot I had an ornament in a Nemesis Star.
Yeah.
You for the same thing. It's just completely forget.
I mean, you could lock it, but I agree. They should not allow that,
They were like,
Well, I
this
mean-
has an ornament. Are you sure you want to delete?
Yeah.
No,
Nice.
I don't.
Or just spit it out like they do with chroma, right? You delete something with chroma in it, it spits out the chroma again.
Yeah.
It should just
Yeah.
spit like
That's
I
true.
keep the silver dust. I don't care. Just give me the hard thing to get back, please.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's rotten.
yeah, it is. That's too bad.
Yeah. Well, the other thing in the weekly update is we do know the week after Festival of the Lost hits, that's when challenge modes will come. They did say that in the weekly
really?
update. Yeah.
That
It,
quick?
it was thinly veiled in there. It's like, oh yeah, well, there's gonna be some more challenging things for your raid bosses the week after. Something or the scary thing happens. So
Wait, the week
Spooky
after-
challenge.
Does that mean
We
that it's actually going to be a week then? This Festival of Lost?
Probably.
yeah, it was last time.
Yeah, but
I thought it was a little. I thought it was like 10 days.
Oh,
yeah, wasn't
I
it?
don't
I don't remember.
It was a little bit
Well,
after
maybe-
Well,
November
they
when
can
it
still
ended.
they can overlap,
Okay.
right? And
yeah.
Challenge
Yeah.
mode could come out while Festival of the Lost is still happening.
Does anybody still have their stuff from Festival of Lost, like
Deleted
the
it.
glue?
I deleted
and
it
the-
like
I think
I
I,
have
still
my
have the movie
raisins.
in my
Yeah.
vault.
I got
yeah,
my
as soon as they made
raisins.
the
Raisins.
kiosk, I deleted it. I would have never deleted that flaming skull ever.
I have my skull still.
I never got the skull. I was really disappointed about that. Also,
Yeah, that's
I
nice.
deleted glue, I think, right before Rise of Iron came out because I was trying to make
Mhm,
space.
same.
And I was like, now it's valuable? It actually has a monetary value to it? Oh my god.
The raisins, guys.
The raisins.
what-
The
I have those
ascendant
still.
raisins.
I
Yep.
still have those too.
They have ascended. What does it mean?
Ascendant.
This bad juju looks sexy.
I know. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it
use
looks
nothing
really
but
good.
bad juju for a long time. Patrick, prepare for trials with only bad juju.
Bad Juju Trials.
Well,
hype.
whatever.
Oh my
not a
god!
bad
Look
Bad
at that!
juju's bad
Look at
gun
that!
in PvP. You can deal with that.
Yeah, it's not
and,
bad.
and the thorn looks even more menacing.
Yeah, it does. Too bad
I
it's
was a
not that
little
menacing in
disappointed.
PvP
Thorn,
anymore.
I was a little disappointed.
Hey,
Yeah, these are some great like changes. I mean, I really enjoying the aesthetics of this expansion.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
I think the art team knocked it out of the park with everything. The raid armor looks awesome. Just Trials armor looks awesome. Everything looks really awesome.
hmm
Yeah,
The
I
record
agree.
book armor looks awesome. Like everything.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
across the board. Even the Vanguard armor. Like I love the Vanguard colors on the weapons and armor, like that, like 1970s light orange and blue. Like I think that it's so cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Also, all the encounters as well. I think they did a fantastic job with. Yeah, you can tell that the texture maps are a little bit more detailed. And like Siva itself has really interesting designs. You know, I was really impressed.
There's more effects happening in the space. I was running. I don't know if you guys you probably don't do patrols on Venus nowadays, but I was running patrols on Venus with my fiance and my son, and crazy stuff, like fun stuff's happening, like just the taken, just a lot of things are happening. They happen more frequently now. I think that the game space, like you're getting, it just seems like there's a lot more going on in the game, and since the update, like
It's
a lot more can happen.
As far as the Taken things happening more often, they started doing that. Was there something in the patch, or like in the patch where they come more frequently now on other planets? I can't remember. I don't believe so.
I haven't seen anything.
Yeah,
But it seems like they do, because you're
Well,
running
no,
in and fighting an ultra every like
they
10
did.
minutes or something.
I swear to God, it was like that in Taken King too, where just on Venus and Mars, like it always got to where I was just about to finish the bounty. You're just
Yeah.
about to
Oh,
finish
here comes
that
the Taken.
that arms day
Yeah.
weapon, and here comes a Taken, and now the zone's gone to shit. So I just go to orbit, done with it.
Yeah. Side note, also, guys. I know Vosik is a difficult encounter, but
Mhm.
Yes.
have you played this week's Nightfall?
Yes.
Because I think
Yes.
this week's Nightfall is harder than the raid itself.
It is.
I disagree. I went in with very large expectations, and it wasn't that.
How did you go in as? Like, what was your team loadout?
We had one comp was, I think, 2 Titans and a Hunter. Another comp was 2 Hunters and a Titan, and then another comp was like 2 Warlocks and a Hunter, I think.
Okay.
And we went through it pretty quickly. It's all about just pacing the
was
boss
it because
damage.
of fast? Was it because of burst DPS? Was that the reason you were able to go through it?
Yeah,
I think-
I mean, to an extent. Like, when we had 2 hunters, we're just like, okay, double Celestial Nighthawk, bang, bang, first dude's dead instantly. And then whip out heavies. Titan has a Ward of Dawn. We can just hang out, whip out the heavies, kill all the ads. Oh, my golden gun's back up. Bang, bang, he's dead.
So
For my teams,
Okay.
it was less about worrying about the bosses and
The
more about
ads.
making sure you kill the ads with your heavy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
bringing
Yeah.
in Galahorn and just wiping out the ads as soon as they come in.
See,
And those were what was dangerous.
from a 1% perspective, you can min-max that damage really easily and blow through those bosses. I tried to
Yeah.
2-man it with my wife, who was under-leveled also. She wasn't 385, and it was a very difficult experience.
Yeah.
We did not finish. We got both bosses coming out, and then it was just like, because you can't
The
jump,
ads come and just
ads, and the boss slams the ground and all that. It made it very difficult. Like, you had to be exceptionally on point with everything, and yeah. I think it's very difficult Nightfall.
Bursting down the solar dude when they both come out at the same time is easily the most important part. Even with Sunsinger, like, pop Radiance, threw a bunch of fusion grenades, and he was just gone. Like, really, really quickly. So if you burst him down and then just kind of go into, oh my god, there's 18 million ads, and you go into like panic mode and kill all of them, it's not too bad as long as you're hiding behind some cover here and there. It's just being aware of positioning.
Before the stream, I was trying to solo it, and no, like I got to.
Why would you do
I just wanted to try to see if it was possible.
Did you
It's
accomplish?
defi-
Did you
It's
accomplish it?
definitely no, I didn't accomplish it, but it's definitely possible. I got to the last phase multiple times where like both of them came out. Almost had it at one point, but like it's the ads. You have to kill the ads.
Yeah.
You need to focus those down. As long as you do that, you'll be fine. And also, don't jump.
If you can
Don't
get
jump.
a Galahorn rocket or two right as they're coming out of the doorways, you can get all those ads like really quick.
Yeah.
Nemesis Star was working really well for me. I was
I
glad
bet.
I was actually able to use that weapon because it's fun to use.
It is a cool weapon.
Are you
I
burst
really wish it was
firing it?
Void.
Are you doing like
some-
burst fire?
Sometimes I was trying to burst fire on the Centurions just to kind of like rip their shields off because I think probably about 2 bursts or 1.5 bursts would kill them outright.
Yeah.
And then for the bosses, I would just do sustained fire.
Yeah.
That's what I think ended up working for me when I was testing it out a bunch.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know. I ended up for like the first part when I was soloing it, like to kill the tank. I just didn't go into the tank room. I just stood behind the burning things, and then it was cheese, pure cheese. I know
I
Dad.
didn't even know you can hit them from there.
Yeah, I was just throwing
didn't know you
grenades
could.
over you, jumping up, shoot rockets. It just sits there. But at one point it nailed like the most perfect rocket blast on me, where it went in between 2 little pillars over there, arced perfectly, landed on the stairs behind me, and I died. I was like,
Isn't it amazing how it can do that sometimes? It's
Yeah, it is.
amazing how those rockets can hit you. Either way.
it's great. But yeah, it's definitely possible to solo. You just have to play it perfectly. And also, there's a couple of places to stand, or there's one particular place to stand in the final boss room, like
Yeah.
on the left-hand side. If your group stands there, the dude that shoots mortars will just shoot them into the roof, and you won't have to worry about mortars at all. Which is another nice
I'm well acquainted with
What
that.
class
And
were you on when you went to go do that? When you went to solo?
Golden gun hunter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because Defender Titan might have some pretty good luck in there as well.
I feel like Defender would have been way easier just with
Yeah,
blessings,
yeah.
so I would be able to, live.
Tank more.
Or,
Yeah.
Yeah. Stay alive.
or self-res. That would also be really, really good.
Would be, yeah.
I felt like the biggest part though was just when the bosses. So if you jumped and
Don't jump ever.
no, I know,
You
but
jumped,
like
you
sometimes you have to jump
Sometimes you
for
have
speed.
to jump over the boss. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you have to do like these speedy jumps, and the bosses had 2 mechanics. So one is the big slam, and because it was solar, if you were within any range of that radius and you jumped, it's immediate death.
Dead.
Gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no edge to there where you have like a little bit of survivability. You're dead. And then if the other guy is shooting mortars and you happen to jump and get clipped by one of those mortar, like it's immediate death as well. So that was the that's like the 2 problems, because like if you manage ads, you have that going for you, but then you just have to figure out how are you going to do any kind of DPS without having the boss just run up and be like, "You're dead."
Yeah, hello.
Or when you're like back in, or like what I was doing is I was basically just shooting the boss and kind of rotating around the center pillar. So he would just keep going to the left. I would keep rotating to the left. It worked out, except when you would accidentally like put your back up against something and your character would like ever so slightly run up it and then fall.
Oh
You know how
Yeah.
that happens sometimes. It's like maybe 3 total frames. Of course, for one of those 3 frames, like you get hit by a slug rifle and your health goes from full to 10%.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, cool. That felt fair.
This run's done.
Yeah.
At least you don't go out to orbit anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
True.
true.
It's true.
They also announced in the weekly update the winners of the race for the heroic mode. Dive was Farher.
The fuck did you
These
call
the
my
bus
mother?
drivers.
The bus drivers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something
In German,
like that.
Did
team
we find out if
translated.
one of them is a bus driver?
I don't think we did.
There is an interview in there.
Die Busfahrer.
There you go.
It's the
Sure.
it's a funny name. Is all I remember.
It means the bus. It means the
Means
bus
bus
drivers.
drivers.
It is the
Yeah.
bus.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to know if one is an actual bus driver, because that.
Ich weiß das nicht genau, aber
feel like they gotta be.
Skates.
Ich bin ein Berliner. That's all I
You
know.
got an Iron
You
Berliner.
are you are not a donut.
Holtzmann.
Trust me. You know that Kennedy was credited for saying that at a very famous speech in
That's why I know
Germany.
Yeah.
Right, but it literally in German means I'm a donut. But anyway, but that's not what he was trying to say. But,
Oh, no, I
okay,
know.
forget it.
History
The
lessons.
history
I just like
nerd in
saying
me.
it. It made my German friend mad. That's the only reason why I said it.
Oh, my first day in Germany, I met up with my host family, and we went to a bar, and I was just learning German, and instead of saying Prost, I said Brot, instead, which means bread. So, and then they all laughed at me and said und Käse, bread and cheese. I don't know. So, forever now, I think of that was a lame story. Never mind. Go ahead. You guys, go ahead.
Nice.
Good. I had a good time.
You know what? I
Is it
mean,
time?
you know what another good story is?
What is it?
Yes. Let's go.
I want it. I want it now. Can you do it in German?
Does it have a dead cat in it?
I was gonna hope that I could get some good opportunity for a segue there from one of you guys.
It was a
but I didn't.
fantastic beginning.
Sorry.
Yeah,
You couldn't pull it from
it-
from my German story? Come on, man.
It would have been really good. I don't know. I could have gone with a dead cat story again, but I'm not going to use that one. I'm just going to go into talking about Blue microphones this time, because no doubt you've noticed these wild mics and headphones that we are using. They're just some of the iconic gear that Blue creates. Blue's award-winning products are the driving force behind professional musicians, internet creators, and countless elite gaming teams and Twitch streamers. God, Datto, I hope you muted your microphone before you pick that up. It's going to be fun to edit out. Their Yeti USB mics is the internet's most popular microphone, and the MoFi and Lola headphones deliver insane sound and a very personalized fit. Blue offers everything you need to completely immerse yourself in the ultimate gameplay experience. Learn more about Blue at bluemic.com.
Yeah.
How that looked.
Nice.
Nailed it.
I didn't
like
know.
the
I didn't know if
wild
you were trying to
part.
segue into an ad read or
I
like,
was, yeah.
the next segment. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure.
It was-
Otherwise, I would
it-
try to help you.
Around the hour mark of every podcast, you can be damn sure there's going to be like some sort of awkward segue. Usually.
That's for the ad read.
Sometimes it's perfect and it's seamless, and other times it's like driving a car into a brick wall and then just kind of fumbling out and then
Depends on the
reading
moon.
something.
Depends on the mood.
I got an opportunity to do the Blue
You did
ad
pretty
copy
good.
once.
You did really good with
You know.
yours.
Did great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have to I have to read it. I can't ad lib an ad copy read at all. So fantastic job the last time you did it, Pope.
It probably helps to just read it right off the paper. That you don't mess anything up. You make the sponsors happy.
Yeah.
You're not trying to
Yeah.
freestyle the ad read.
You know how else we should make happy? All of our Twitter followers and viewers. So Briar, let's go with the first questions. Now see, that's how you do a segue.
That's segue.
All right.
Segue
Salt
there.
Titan asks,
So you claim.
So I claim.
when is the Pope Bear versus Briar Rabbit 1v1 happening?
Whoa.
20 strange coins on Pope.
I don't know. I'm worried that Briar might be robotic and he
Yeah,
might be
Briar
might be
perfected.
cheating.
Briar perfected.
Yeah.
Even me as a casual, I'm still gonna mop the floor with Briar. All I'm saying is that I'm not afraid, and I've had that standing invitation, and I've been looking at my invites. Nothing's coming.
What I hear is a bunch of blowhard bullshit talk. What I don't hear is a time, and that's what the question was.
All right.
After the
Fire.
podcast tonight, going down on twitch.tv/Briar Rabbit and twitch.tv/Poker, there will be a showdown for the ages.
5 a.m. tomorrow morning.
5 a.m. Wow.
You win. I'm out. Hey, Fitzy asked, do you think Vasek on hard is too hard for the average player? It feels like a mess and tougher than Axis.
I'm not an average player, so I have no idea how hard it is.
We need Pope Bear to play it.
I'll let you guys know next week.
Listen, I honestly think after people hit 390, I don't think this is going to be as difficult. Like if your whole team is 390 higher, I think it's going to be easier.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Handsome Dragon, would you like to see more done to differentiate between normal and heroic raids, or do you like it the way it is?
I don't know. I feel like
I'm always someone who's going to be looking for Bungie to really push the limits of player skill for heroic mode, but I think what they have going now is, probably as good as it's going to get until some big changes start to happen, or they're able to maybe more easily produce content or generate raids. Generating raids, I imagine, for Destiny is much, much more complex than we probably give it credit for, or a lot of people give credit for, because you have rather a lot of limitations. You don't have that same freedom as PC MMO, where you can look at tooltips and abilities and blah 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 blah. It's like you got this much room on the left side of the screen for like a 3-word buff, and that's it.
Yeah, that's true.
So like
That's
this is what they have to work with right here on your screen. That's it. So it's they need to make it. They need to make it as free as they can so that you can use any subclass. You don't need any specific subclass to do it, but they also need to make it, reasonable to do for those people. They can't include too many things. So it's, they have limitations, and I think they're doing moderately well given the limitations that they have.
Yeah.
As long as we don't really ever go back to the extreme delta scaling that we had with like Crota's End. Like that was like there were no mechanic changes, right? In Crota's End, where it was just
you lost the thing that gave you your health back.
Yeah, you lost the chalice.
You lost the chalice, and then there were like wizards that came out instead of knights, something like that.
Yeah,
wizard would spawn.
Yeah, so like those were the only real changes there, and what I remember is everyone being really pissed that the only real change was the level went up to a little bit higher than it needed to be at the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's also level differentiation felt different back then. Like the difference between being level 32 and 31 was harsh. Like you got your ass kicked for being like one level under.
Exactly.
Yep.
But that is an artificial way to make things harder.
It
is harder.
It certainly is.
So we have the normal raid, and then we have the heroic raid, just like the strikes, normal and heroic strikes. In that sense of difficulty, it makes sense how they're doing the difficulty changes. From the 1% perspective, obviously, like Datto said, we always want more. We want more interesting mechanics. We want more stuff. I think like along the lines of what you were saying earlier, Watts, like a challenge mode, if they did like Nightfall raid, I think that'd be really interesting with even more mechanics change, maybe even have weekly burns and stuff, and have unique rewards that are associated with the Nightfall raid. So we had normal raid, heroic raid, and then a Nightfall raid. I don't know if it would be a little too difficult to manage in terms of, what you got to do every week, but
balance.
Yeah, balance and all that. But I think
if
it was just Nightfall rewards, it'd be fun,
Yeah.
Just going in there and seeing what was going on. Like, all of a sudden every enemy in here is doing like triple the damage they used to. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it would be
cool.
really interesting if suddenly there's a burn.
Oh, now
on
you
weapons.
can't jump. Oh, that changes the raid.
It changes,
Oh god. Oh
a little
god.
different.
Yeah.
Trent asked, this one's for Datto. When can we expect damage comparisons of OP and Steel Medulla for Vasek and Axis?
As soon as I can coerce my raid team to go back into the raid to test for another hour and a half to 2 hours. Which I don't know if it will be soon, given how much hard mode we just did. But yeah, sooner rather than later. As soon as I can do it, I have 3 more at a minimum things I need to do with that. The raid weapons and more comparisons. And trust me, I know people want them, and I want to make them, but
it takes a while to do those videos, doesn't it?
It does take a while to do them
because you have to actually do the raid, and you're not just like going in doing it like you're doing the fight to a certain point, and then everyone has to wipe. Yeah, and then you do it like you're doing the same fight like over and over and over, and then you finally get to complete it and move on.
And like now I have all the data. Now I can make the video, or rather write the script, and then put everything together. But I've learned how to do it much better compared to the very first one that I did. So the workflow is a little bit easier now. Now that I know like what's relevant and what's not relevant. But yeah, they still take a little while. So plus I don't want to do too many of them too quickly because it's really, really dense material. Very, very dense material.
It's still a really good resource though for the community. Yeah. So even if it is dense,
it's super interesting.
It is super, super dense and not sexy content whatsoever. I realize that. So
no, I beg to differ. I find it extremely sexy content.
Put some lingerie in the thumbnail and you're good.
Yeah.
Put it on Axis.
Sleeper in a bra and underwear.
Maybe a little twerking at the end.
That's an untapped market. More console doesn't twerk.
Yeah, it's an untapped market. Yeah.
Is that official? Are we positive? Are we positive more console will not twerk?
I mean, if we'll send him a package, you must twerk while opening, and maybe we'll get it.
Let's do that.
Tyler asks, favorite cereals? And if the answer isn't Cocoa Pebbles, just know that it is wrong.
Okay.
Cocoa Pebbles not even in my top 5.
Yeah, mine neither.
Not even on the radar.
I have, I'll go with straight up Honey Nut Cheerios, the Cocoa Krispies, Honey Bunches of Oats, like a granola that I love.
Damn, Pope, pick one.
Jesus, no, you said favorite 5.
No,
you just said one.
Favorite cereal.
I was just commenting that it's not even in my top 5.
Honey Nut Cheerios. Sorry.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Okay. For me, it flip flops. Or Pat, you go.
I am partial to a good Raisin Bran.
Dude, Patrick, I'm down with extra raisins.
Just simple Raisin Bran. You can get fancy, add a little bit of cinnamon to it as well.
2 scoops ain't enough, man.
2 scoops never enough. You need like 5. You need 2 scoops in the bowl, not 2 scoops in the bag.
Yeah, 2 bowls.
I'll agree with you
bowls
there, for sure.
They're not raisins. They're like freaking rock pebbles in there.
I don't care what they are. They're delicious.
Yeah.
For me, it flip flops in between Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and then when I get sick of that, I'll go to Honey Nut Cheerios. God. And then when I get sick of those, I go back to Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Damn.
Those are my kids' favorite 2 cereals, too. They're literally, it is. It's Honey Nut Cheerios.
Worst things
like the Cheerios and Cinnamon Toast.
Yeah.
Defty?
I'm not a good, I'm gluten free, so I can't have basically all those cereals. But if I could,
I think you could have the cereal that I have.
I would have Cinnamon Toast Crunch if I wasn't gluten free because that's delicious.
Just like dry out some kale and add some milk to it. I'm sure that.
No. If I'm gonna have some sort of cereal, I'll do a hot cereal. I'll get some gluten-free oatmeal because, in case you don't know, lots of oatmeal is actually contaminated because it's stored in the same silos as wheat. So that's why you have gluten-free oatmeal and some oatmeal is not gluten-free. It's heavily contaminated. And I would cook up some of that. That'd be delicious. But like I said, if I didn't, Cinnamon Toast Crunch was delicious.
What?
I like Honey Smacks. I think they're good. But the cereal that I have the most is a cereal called Kind. I don't know if anyone knows that.
Ooh,
I know that.
Heard of it.
Yeah, it's good.
That's
really
not cereal.
good. That's
pot.
It's like granola and fruit and nuts.
Just because you smoke it in the morning doesn't make it cereal.
Well done, good sir. Well done.
Good job, Fryer.
I'm sorry, Watts.
Yeah. I have Kind.
She does live in Seattle, so
right. Wake and bake.
That's a good cereal. Do you get all your vitamin? You get all your vitamin C's in that, or?
It has everything. Has everything.
Has everything.
Fiber, protein, C, calcium. It's all in there.
Nice.
Captain Crunch will always be my favorite cereal. That stuff is delicious.
Yeah, that's the other one I was going to say, but I didn't want it to seem like I was 12 years old.
I don't care.
Has a great iron supply.
You're talking
of
to a
material.
12-year-old trapped in a 27-year-old man's body.
If I could
Ryan, I
rotate
actually
between
saw
Cinnamon Toast
you,
Crunch and Captain Crunch, it'd be
I
great.
saw you retweet a dab machine of some kind. I was
Oh,
very
the one that
confused.
looked like a 1-up from
Yes.
Wilson's in chat. He's a glass blower. That's what he does professionally. He's in chat right
Oh,
now.
Okay.
Wilson 309. He makes those.
I was like,
It's a 1-up, like mushroom from Super Mario.
it looks really cool. I was just wondering,
Yeah.
you know. I was
Does-
like, so
does he
Briar
know?
likes
Does he
that
know?
kind of dab.
Does he know? It's not a lamp. That's not a. You don't put
It's
flowers.
not a
in there.
lamp.
Yeah, it's a
You mean a
beautiful
vase?
Yeah. Whatever. It looks like a lamp or a vase. Whatever.
That sounds awesome. I want one of those.
right?
That's a lamp.
I want him to make. I've been on him for like 6 months to try and start making glass engrams.
Ooh, that'd be
Yes.
cool.
Everybody
And
in
then you
chat,
put them
Wilson,
on
please.
too.
tell Wilson 309 to make some glass engrams.
I'll take
Put them up
2.
on Etsy.
Yeah.
No pressure though, Wilson.
That would look really cool.
Right?
Because also you could put some light in them so they actually glow like a real engram.
Like a tea
Right,
light,
yeah, exactly.
like a little tea light.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Wilson, this is genius. Come on, man.
You could make billions of dollars off the
Billions.
Destiny community.
Billions.
Literal
Activision would
billions.
love for that.
King of Pablo asks, with people completing their Rise of Iron book, do you feel we could get more additions to the book later on in an update?
Sure.
They could totally do that. Yeah.
Why not?
I actually just completed mine today on
I have
stream.
not completed mine.
Yeah.
I'm pretty close.
I needed to do the heroic missions, so I ran download complete, the one on Mars. I ran that one 10 times, and it took me about, I don't know, whatever 5 times 10 is.
I figure
not
I've
that
got
long.
still about 8 months before I have to really start feeling the pressure to
Yeah.
complete that.
Yeah, I mean, by that, with that amount of time, you'll just complete it over time. You don't even need to rush it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at 50%.
Man.
Wow.
Slacking.
Nice. No, that's good. That's good casual status right there, Pope.
Yeah,
That
fair
is,
enough.
that is solid
That's-
work.
Dude, that's
I
casual.
just got the
That's
ship,
confirmed.
I think. I just got
I'm
the
really excited.
I think I'm ranked 21 out of 24. And I still got to do the strikes and the missions because I was just waiting for them to fix the take a strike thing in the book because I was like, I am not going to run 20 normal mode strikes for this thing.
No.
The only reason I did that was for to test the Siva or to test the
Yeah,
skeleton keys.
Yeah, the
Skeleton keys. That's the only reason I even had that one completed. But if we're on the topic of the
Oh wait, hold up.
of the book, okay.
Oh yeah. No, you're doing the book. Never mind. I want to say something about the book.
Say it real quick. I was gonna segue into another topic
Perfect.
real quick.
I am, I think, level 18 on my book, and I am purposely triggering people in chat by leaving the exclamation in there
Yeah.
and not collecting any of the rewards. I haven't collected a single reward out of it. I'm like,
Oh
oh,
my
look at this
goodness.
book. Wow. Huh. I guess I'll just leave this here for a bit.
Oh my god, that bothers people so much when you don't
Yeah,
pick
it
up, when you finish
Even
like
that-
a raid or something and you don't check your loot. They're
Or
like,
you don't pick, even if you don't pick up an engram, it's like,
Yeah.
dudes, my inventory's full. It'll be in my
Yeah.
postmaster. Chill out. It's gonna be something I'm gonna dismantle anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So the other topic about the progress book, the Days of Iron ornament, you get one.
You get one.
Yeah,
one.
It's so bad.
I'm looking at it right now. I already got it, and it says it's already claimed. I can't swap to another character and get it there. You can't put legendary marks into it to get it. So this whole set that you get, it's like they just give you just this little taste of, here's what this ornament thing is. But by the way, I hope you've been running heroic strikes to get silver dust. Your one silver dust thing per week, or else
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to use it. Also, some of these armor pieces take 2
Yeah.
Days of Iron
Helmet and
ornaments.
chest.
Yeah, helmet and chest take 2 of them. Why? Also, if we're on the topic of silver dust economy, what the fuck? Why do the trials pieces take 5 silver dust to apply the ornament? What the hell is with that? Come
Yeah.
on.
you preach it. Come on.
Yeah.
Let it
You
You
know
out.
what I
can
imagine?
either choose to support this economy or you could choose not to.
Yeah, and
It
I
is
guess-
if you choose to, and if this is a wild success, guess what? It's going to continue in the
Wait.
future and possibly
I-
get worse.
I want
want to
people in
support-
chat. Wait. I want people in chat
Okay.
to put in the real dollar amount, the God's honest truth, the dollar amount they've spent on those on
The new chess things.
yes.
The radiant chess.
I'll go
There you
on.
go. Here's mine.
I'll go on record. I spent $50 on it day one, and then on like when Xur came, I was like, I've made a huge fucking mistake. I do not support this economy at all. Yeah,
A lot of zeros. in there.
There's a lot of zeros, but there's a lot of 20, 50,
Yeah.
100,
Yeah, I just
60.
saw 100.
Yeah.
You know, there's
Yeah.
money in there,
Ba-
guys.
Basically,
money.
for every one
There
person
is
who
money.
answers, it cancels out like 5 zeros.
Pretty much, yeah.
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 There's a
I-
lot of money
I
in the chat
imagine.
right now.
Listen, I imagine a golden cow and the udder from the golden cow just being milked out with silver dust from there.
I love the concept of ornaments. I
Yeah.
don't like it right now. Like, I'm sure maybe 9 months down the road where I have every single ornament through for the radiant treasures or whatever, or every single ornament that I want,
Mhm.
and I can start dismantling them and get more silver dust. Fine, but there's gotta be just a little more leeway in how you get them in
Yeah.
the game.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's
Just a
brutal.
little bit
I mean-
reward those people who continue to play the game for super long time.
Mhm.
You know, give them
Yeah.
these long-term objectives that at least they can go play for an eternity and at least earn it that way,
like
So-
right now you can get what 9,
and not through luck.
you can get 9 silver dust per week, and that's getting to the lighthouse. That's
Mhm.
getting to the lighthouse, and all 3 characters dismantling the ornament you get from the lighthouse, doing the 1 heroic strike to get your 1 free radiant treasure, and then dismantling the ornament that you get from that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
So
think-
it's
I think-
it's rough.
So here's what I think that they need to do. They need to add it as a random drop for the end of heroic strikes, and also possibly a random drop out of chests that you pop in the raid. Those cash chests. So
It
if you
needs to
if
come
you
out of
make a
more
key-
things.
Yeah, if you make a
It would
key,
be
there should be a
super great.
chance at getting one
Yeah.
silver dust from there.
Yeah, it's a good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
just-
all
it doesn't-
agree.
it doesn't
that
have to be
there's-
a lot. It
Make
just has to be.
cost us money to apply an ornament to a piece of armor. And if we accidentally delete that piece of armor, don't feel like we just lost money when we did that.
Oh yeah.
Fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Golden cow.
yeah.
The fuck? What is that noise?
No, I-
What is that?
We-
noise?
It's an
And I
udder.
will spend
It's the
I
udder
will spend
being-
some money on some
Very
emotes
creepy.
and stuff, but this silver dust, it just sounds like it's rough, man. It just feels rough
And
to me.
it what really sucks is that has no gameplay impact whatsoever.
No, it's completely cosmetic.
zero gameplay impact. So it's
Well,
like
it should be,
that
though.
is kind of like, well, it's like it's hard to complain about it because it has zero gameplay impact, but at the same time it's like it's more microtransaction stuff, and it's just they're
Well, if
cool,
they-
but
look,
like
think
make
about it
it
this way.
a little bit reasonable.
Datto,
for
think about it
in-game.
this way. If let's assume, Tefty,
Mhm.
let's feed the beast, all right?
Sure.
I'm gonna put on my tinfoil hat.
Okay.
What if they make enough money off of this method of doing things that they don't progress any further into microtransactions? What if they're satisfied?
That's not possible.
I don't think
Have
they
you-
will ever be
have you-
satisfied.
Yeah, have you read the
Are
the
shareholders ever satisfied?
yeah,
Yeah, have
the
you
doctrine
ever
of
been in
corporate
a
America? Come on.
I own shares in things, not Activision.
I
Yeah,
can't
the
get no
soul-
satisfaction. Come on.
The sole purpose
Stone-
of a corporation
Stone's already saying
is to
about it.
grow.
All right,
Cash
fair
bonds.
enough.
All right, let's
So
move
maybe-
on.
Yeah.
Divine Sky says, "Do you think Rise of Iron will last longer than the Taken King?" I think it will
No.
last exactly the same amount of time, which is 1 year until Destiny 2 comes
in
out
terms of
in
content,
September of
no.
2017.
Well, yeah. Well, I actually took the question as how long will like the interest last?
Yeah,
versus-
I know.
That's yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Here's the thing, though. They might be dropping some updates now that it's only current gen. That could surprise us. And I know that's a very optimistic rose-colored look at it, but I like being optimistic and rose-colored. So, come on, let's have some awesome content drops.
Do better. How is everyone liking the whole quote-unquote shotgun meta in the Crucible?
It exists.
Not
It's
really.
a thing.
Um,
Yeah, I don't really enjoy it.
I joined the shotgun meta this week very briefly. I got a God Roll Matador with aggressive ballistics, performance bonus, rifled barrel, and rangefinder, and equipped it once for doing Thorn. for doing like thorn footage, and immediately got a breaker. It's like first.
It makes the Crucible
yeah.
easy.
Yep.
It was easy mode for the most part.
Okay,
I just
but
wish I
there
could get
was
one.
there was
That thing
someone that
eludes
left a
me.
comment on my video about people complaining about shotguns.
Mhm.
And he was saying that he sees a lot of us complain about shotguns, but he is not a very good player. And shotguns are the only way that he can get kills in the Crucible. And without that, I think he said he went from like a negative KD to like a 1.3 or something from using shotguns. And I think, like, I understand that point of view because you want to enjoy the Crucible too. Maybe you're not that good and shotguns are the way that you do that. But that's kind of the issue that I have with the Crucible is that shotguns are incredibly easy and it is more difficult to use a primary where you have to aim and you have to, you know, shoot things. And
I think there's
actually use your
already
thumbs.
skill. I think there's already like non-skill based elements in the game that are
Like
there,
supers.
like supers and grenades and abilities. There's so many things in Destiny's character development that give the average player that guaranteed, you know, good moment in the game where they're going to get some kills. I'd like them to protect that piece and that's the piece that I think a lot of tier 1 players or the top tier players are saying is that there should be some piece that is skill based that is protected in that way.
Right. And of course there is a big difference between a really good shotgunner and like an average shotgunner.
Yeah.
But I mean, seeing this skill gap in primary gunfights, I feel is a lot more interesting.
But that Matador right now is mapping me from
It is
fucking
insane.
believable
It is
distances.
insane.
I just find it funny that we keep like shotguns and the ability to use shotguns keeps getting nerfed, and it seems like the problem is still getting like worse.
Yeah.
Well,
Like, how many
they
shotguns
changed
are at their-
something else?
Shotguns are at their
It's Datto, they
weakest
keep-
point that they've ever been.
This is true.
Ever.
But
Yeah,
the
rest of the meta
so
isn't-
are
Crazy to think
primaries.
about.
So are primaries. So you can't fight them off still.
But also the knowledge is at its highest that the game has ever been.
Very true.
Yes.
And the movement
And movement
speeds,
is at its fastest.
exactly.
Yeah,
Movement
movement speed
speeds,
is-
like we've essentially unlocked maximum movement potential with 2 years of Destiny. And that combined with nerf shotguns still makes shotguns problematic.
I'd like to see a world where snipers come back, not as dominating as they were, but definitely I'd like to see room for snipers. I enjoy that gameplay much more than I do shotguns, but I'm having a crap load of fun. I used to have to warm up to my sniper, you know, and like have to play like for a few minutes, a half an hour, maybe 2-3 games before I started getting my shot on. I just jump in there with my shotgun and I fly around and shoot stuff. It's great.
One more time.
I recently Watts, you know what my trials loadout is,
Yep.
or what my loadout in general is: scout rifle and sidearms. Because I'm kind of saying, fuck the meta.
Dude, you got me
And-
hooked on that trespasser, man.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's fun.
Mine's
man.
pulse
is fun.
rifle,
You got me hooked on
sidearm.
it.
Yeah, Trespasser is the anti-shotgun meta right
It
now.
is.
Like, if you're having trouble with a shotgun, I know it sucks to say, hey, use this one type of exotic, but for about 99% of the players, Trespasser absolutely just dominates the type of shotgun player that really only
The
thinks
ones
with,
that
"Hey,
rush straight at
the
you.
one that
Yeah.
rushes
Which
straight
is
at you."
most of them.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
a very large portion of them. So this gun takes care of that with stunning efficiency.
Yeah.
The thing that pisses me off most about the Matador, and it was the same thing that pissed me off about the Party Crasher last year,
Mhm.
is that I cannot fucking get one to save my life.
Oh, dude, just play with me. I've gotten 5 Matadors so
Fucking
far.
I see them drop like crazy all over.
Yeah,
I
they
saw a
do.
perfectly rolled one, a full auto with rifle barrel rangefinder, drop like one spot above me today. Just couldn't get it.
I got one the other day.
Yeah, I got one.
It maps with rangefinder.
It's a
Yeah,
goddamn-
things are
I'm
crazy.
still like I want so on the Xbox I've got a Party Crasher with replenish, aggressive, and rifle barrel. And
Yeah.
replenish for 6s is broken because if you're good with the
It is.
shotgun, right? If you're good with the shotgun, you run around, you get 5 kills with your shotgun, pop your super, which is like probably Stormcaller, so then you get a breaker, like a casual breaker, and then you have another 5 shots in your shotgun again. You just run around, get another 5, and the cycle continues. I'd say it's balanced. Nothing needs to change about it.
You should just get one with performance bonus on it. If you saw the little clip I posted to
Even
Twitter,
worse.
I got 4 kills and I got 4 shots back. Felt balanced, man. Felt good.
Super balanced.
I'm not
And
condoning
this
the
is
nerf
the problem,
of,
right?
that.
When they're
either.
making changes to the special ammo economy, and then they have these perks that completely negate their special ammo economy. It's like, Bungie, what are you doing? Make your mind up.
I don't know. I still feel like the perks are maybe. I don't think like those kind of perks are really the problem.
No,
like
they're-
I think
They're not the main problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think
Yep.
actually, if I think a decent experiment would be to nerf the radius of which you can pick up special ammo from a crate, because you get 20 seconds within a 100-meter radius.
That is a
That's
very, very long radius, too.
huge.
Yeah.
If they dropped it down to maybe like 50 or something,
Drop it to heavy ammo.
I think heavy ammo is too restrictive.
Yeah.
Because heavy ammo is really, really ridiculously strong. But I think if you made it like 40 or 50, so that way people had to actually be more aware instead of just like seeing it being picked up in the distance, be like, oh, well, I was 90 yards away or 90 meters away, I can still go get it. You know,
Yeah.
make it more of a tactical thing and being ready and watching timers as opposed to just being like, oh, well, my teammates happened to grab it and I happened to walk over it.
Yeah. Do you-
Maybe. I don't know.
I feel like the amount of complaining in the Crucible is at an all-time high. Honestly, do you guys
Yeah.
feel that way?
It feels
Yeah.
like it.
I don't
Feels
know.
like-
Fell when remember?
No, I'm only doing half the complaining I was doing last year during House of Wolves.
No, I'm not talking
Yeah.
personally. I'm not talking about. I've gotten past.
Yeah,
but
my
I was
own
doing half the
complaints.
complaining for the Crucible.
Generally.
Yeah, I've gotten past my complaints, and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Destiny 2 is probably going to fix a lot of the things I complain about. So I try to just brush them under and just forget about it. But I feel like as a whole in the community, we're at an all-time high where people are just like, I feel like breaking my controller after 2 games all the time. You know?
Crucible seems to be more frustrating for people currently.
Mhm.
For I have my skill-based matchmaking has officially reset. I enjoy the bracket I'm in right now. It is fun as hell.
Currently in aluminum tier.
It is amazing. It is great. I went 34-2 in my last Crucible game at 5:30 in the morning.
You can't do that. It's going to reset your bracket. What are you doing?
I think
sandbag that
it,
shit a little bit.
You
I
gotta
think
sandbag it,
no.
man.
I let my wife play on my account. It's good. No, no. I'm saying is that the thing is that I think time is an issue too. Like the length of time in between games played.
Oh,
I don't
there's
know.
a window of opportunity for the games that it calculates for skill-based matchmaking. That would make sense, actually.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, that would definitely make sense. That would be part of their algorithm.
Yeah.
Let's move on. PX asks thoughts on heroic weapons, uses of the hand cannon, and how the MG fits into the DPS race. So, what do you guys think of the heroic weapons? What's good? What are you really enjoying?
Sniper's really good. I think it might be the best legendary sniper in terms of damage. I haven't gotten to actually test it yet, but being able to get Event Horizon style damage with 4 shots and spray and play, pretty good.
Yep.
The pulse rifle is good to use. You can pretty much, I think you can max out its stability.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Its
you can.
bonus is not game breaking. So it's I enjoy it as a weapon. I don't know how good it actually is, but I do enjoy it as a weapon. Hand cannon I haven't gotten yet. Machine gun I have not used enough to comment on. Tefty, you're probably going to be way better at that.
It's freaking amazing.
It's good.
Seriously.
We were all
It's
using
amazing.
it in our raid run, right? The second time around.
If you want a ranged loadout like Black Spindle plus raid machine gun,
Yeah.
really good for boss damage. Really, really good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can't wait to try it. I'm very excited.
So I think speed reload might be the best option instead of the extended mag because you just get an extra 18 bullets in there, and you can unload a whole magazine on the first teleport phase, reload, do another magazine, and then by the third phase you're almost out of ammo. And I think what was the Dark Drinker again? 500 to 550,000 with the Radagast, right?
with
Like a full-
with like tether, like with the whole 9 yards of
Mhm.
of stuff on the third teleport. If you're doing like, and that 500 to 550,000, that's only with like a 384. If you're leveling it up, it's gonna go up even more.
So I think, what was it, per magazine? I think the theoretical DPS was around 250k. somewhere around there per magazine, and you can have you like. So I actually did. I had heavy machine boots, and then I had Twilight Garrison on, which gave me extra heavy ammo. I had 310 in the reserve.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's
So
a
we
You
lot.
also have to,
Weird
you
year
also have
one.
to think about not just magazine, but time to actually put out all of that damage. Because you could
Totally.
have all the ammo in the world, but if you don't have the time to get out all of that ammo in the world,
Totally. So
Something to factor in.
that's what I was saying. So I was able to unload a whole magazine on the first teleport phase, and then just about a whole magazine on the second teleport phase. You know, it roughly equates to that. And then I could do it easily a full magazine, if not a magazine and a half, on the actual damage phase. So if I had missed the first teleport phase because I was like empowered or something like that, so those were some theoreticals right there. So a lot of DPS.
yeah. Theoretically, if you're perfect with it, I think it's definitely a contender. If you're not perfect with it, or maybe like the boss's head is turned towards you, like Vasa gets turned around or something, it instantly turns into garbage.
Right. By the way,
Is my feeling?
Those numbers were calculated on 866 per bullet. If you let weapons of light and like tether, it like goes up to 1200, 1400, and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna be very excited to take a look at it because I think it has some crazy good potential if you're theoretically perfect with it. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
But so far, even the auto rifle I think is not too bad in terms of all raid weapons. So
I love the auto
A lot
rifle.
better than the last one.
Yeah.
All the weapons are a lot better than the last ones.
Oh
That's
my
true.
god, that last one was
That
awful.
is true.
I lucked
Shingo
out.
was like the only thing worth a damn.
Yeah, I lucked out and got all the hard mode raid weapons in 2 tries. So I've had a chance to try them all, and overall, like, I think they're a lot better than King's Fall stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're actually usable.
The aesthetics of them as well.
yeah, that sidearm is so cool. When the perk procs, you have, and it's reactive reload. It's lit up for the whole time of reactive reload. All
Yeah.
the, like the little Siva things. Yeah, it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I never minded the look of the King's Fall weapons. I always thought it was kind of cool looking.
Oh yeah,
I think,
love
I think
the
they were
look.
pretty unique. Yeah, I mean we've come a long way from VOG just spray tanning it bronze or
Yeah.
or whatever, and that's it. So
Yeah,
we've come a long way. And some people are complaining like, oh, they're just reskins of like Foundry weapons and whatever, and it's like I don't know, they still look kind of cool. That's fine with me.
I like
It's like, well, it makes sense with the lore
You know,
of
they
Siva, right?
Sprinkle some Siva on it. There you go. It's good.
Put a little on my donut too. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
Datto does Siva.
David asked, "Do you think the Rise of Iron artifacts are as game changing as originally thought?" Personally, not much has changed.
In Crucible? Every
all around.
time
in
every time
everything. I'd say in PvE, no. Scories is good. Everything else is just kind of whatever.
But in
PvP, someone else
PvP,
talk.
PvP, I am telling you, like from what I've seen, it does affect the way it's played. I mean, being a Titan and being able to have that cool, more accurate radar.
It's nice. It's very nice.
good
Also,
Does that break the game?
No,
No.
it's
No.
No, was the question? Is it game breaking? I don't think it's
Sorry, I
game
guess the
breaking.
question was: are they
Game
as
changing.
game breaking as we? Oh, game changing.
game
sorry.
changing.
game changing.
Changing.
Game
breaking.
changing.
I think they make people play the game differently, and you can specialize better with them. And I think that if that's the purpose to make people specialize in a loadout, I think it's been effective, and I've liked it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
seeing some
I've
cool
enjoyed the
uses in
artifacts.
trials. Yeah,
Yeah. I think a lot of people thought that like the no sprint cooldown and the no damage or very reduced damage over time ones were just going to completely just annihilate all concept of balance in the Crucible, and it's like, no, it's overwhelmingly the same for the
Yeah.
most part.
small
You
changes.
know.
as soon as that one Titan walks around the corner, is clearly not taking damage from anything. Back to square one.
The red bar artifact.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, can
No.
we get that one? You put it on and your connection goes to a red bar and
Yeah,
you get host.
It's like tapping God mode in the console.
Just download like the new Call of Duty in the background, and you'll be good. I think it's like 150 megabytes or
Nice.
150
Perfect.
gigs. So
Doing
There
it
you
over and over again.
yeah.
Uh,
I don't know. I think after seeing the no sprint cooldown one used, I just keep saying, I don't even see why that's in the game. Why is the sprint cooldown even in the game? It's like it doesn't affect the game that much for us to be able to always sprint.
Well,
But
this
like,
could have been a test.
it's the one I
It
use
could-
the
It
most.
could have been a test to be like, how game breaking is this?
it's
Yeah, you're right.
eternally on my Titan just because
You're right.
Yeah.
it works out really well on my Titan. I use it
I
on
thought
my.
it was a bug. I honestly thought that was a bug.
Everyone
for the
did.
first year of
Everyone
Destiny.
did.
I know
Yeah.
you've been talking about it.
Hasn't
Yeah, I
Bungie-
like the no sprint cooldown because on my Night Stalker I can like sprint, slide, shade step, and then start running right again, which is
Nice.
pretty nice. Yeah, I
love
like
that
doing
one.
that.
I feel like Bungie's done that in the past though, where they've said that it wasn't a bug.
It's a feature.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't remember exactly
well,
what, but
Yeah, they said it was a feature. That's right. That's when we started mocking them for like all the things. No, it's a feature in the game.
Yeah.
yeah. Turns out we added skill-based matchmaking. Feature
Whoopsie.
to protect all the new people.
Bamboozy asks, what has been your go-to artifact for PvP and the raid? Got a go-to?
Yeah, I use the taking away my super the most probably on my Night Stalker. It's because double, especially against shotgunners, you run at me, I throw smoke at you, you die. So that's
Solid.
nice. But in the raid, I think outside of that and just on my other characters, I tend to use the no sprint cooldown, just because it's kind of nice to not have to worry about being like, I'm stuck, I can't run, and being in an awful situation.
Yeah. That's the one I use for PvP and PvE constantly. I've gotten so used to it now that I just don't want to run anything else.
Yeah.
I run the mobs that are at low health, and the one that makes things glow if it's at low health or has it super up. Really useful for telling if like a boss is at low health, just in case no one notices.
Isn't there like
On
a
the
bar above
giant
its head?
yellow health bar on top of
Exactly.
their head.
Exactly.
It's so hard to miss. man.
It doesn't actually.
Was that
work
was
on
that was that
bosses.
was that sarcasm? I'm not
Just a
sure.
hint. Just a hint.
Oh, okay.
Just a hint.
You have to be more explicit. I get in
Sorry.
trouble for that. Patrick.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, Scory for PvE is the most beneficial. Otherwise,
Scories?
PvP, I like the Scory is where when you have your super, you cause everyone around you to generate super faster.
That one's pretty
Yeah.
good for PvP. If you ever run into
Yeah.
the trials teams, like they're playing really passive, and then you look at their artifact slot. Oh, they're all running Scories.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then I like running the radar one in PvP, but most of the time I just forget anyway, so I don't even get the effects. I just forget.
See,
Right now, I'm
That's
just
actually-
running the one that's got highest light level too, to be honest.
Mhm.
yeah, I'm with you
I
on
can't
that,
keep them
Datto.
all at the
Yeah.
high light.
Yeah, I'm
Just forgetting.
I'm in the same boat. I'm like, when I jump into PvP, I'm like, oh yeah, what artifact am I using? I didn't
Yeah.
remember. But-
I'm so used to not using a specific one. It's just like whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But
forgot.
when it comes to the raid, though, I have gotten really used to the Radagast because using swords in general, because I run the raid a lot. You know, I help a lot of subs and viewers through. I have found a newfound love of just using swords as much as possible because it's so fun. You know, run it like
It's
again,
really good in the raid.
It's really good in the raid, but also like I said, if you haven't bolt casted Vosik, the DPS is nowhere near as good, but it's a blast.
No, it's not.
It
No,
is
it's
so
not.
awesome. Spinning and like throwing bolts everywhere. Oh, it's
If
great.
only you got more DPS for like how good you looked doing the DPS.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's get a
Style
buff on
points.
Boltcaster,
Style
guys.
points. Yeah.
We need a PvE buff on Boltcaster. But
I
having
agree.
like 100 sword ammo, or I mean energy, whatever you want to call it, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You basically used a sword as like a primary with those gloves also that give heavy. So nice.
I'm worried that the raid gloves to sidetrack here.
Mhm.
The raid gloves might be too good at this point.
Yeah.
Shut your
Oh
whole mouth.
I think they might be
Datto,
too good.
stop.
Don't you
Okay.
dare make
I mean,
a
I
video on this,
trust. I
Datto.
love it. I love.
We need them.
They're so good, and I don't think Bungie will nerf them.
I'm
No, you know what?
editing
This
all that
community. This
They make my
community.
warlock choices hard.
Oh,
That's true.
okay.
Oh,
Datto
man,
took
that's
away.
Yeah, it does.
Datto nerfed the Galahorn and he nerfed the raid.
No, I don't.
arms.
I don't
You
want
added
them. to
doors.
I don't want the raid arms to get nerfed.
Yeah, but you're bringing it up, man.
I'm saying. I know. I'm saying because for the person of my warlocks have like 6 gloves, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
like
do.
using nothing manacles, but then I don't get that. I don't get the bonus heavy ammo. So it's
All right.
like, what do
Fair
I do?
enough. Fair enough.
They're
So they don't need to be nerfed. They're perfect.
really good. They're really
also transversive steps, man. You walk over, you immediately have heavy again, or like it's reloaded.
True.
It's so good. So if you are using that machine gun with transversive steps, oh my god! If you know a brick is just laying right next to you, so good.
That's true.
Data's the type of guy to ask if there's homework.
Were we supposed to have a test today?
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
You didn't assign an assignment. I'm a little worried.
Yeah.
I was the one who would leave the classroom when the teacher went to check for homework, so that way they wouldn't see me at the desk and they wouldn't ask. I would just get NA.
Philip McDougall asks, what are your thoughts of the current state of global warming and the melting ice caps?
It's a
Not
real
good.
bummer. That's for sure.
We should
Sucks.
stop it.
That's a tough one.
Don't do
We
that.
might all be dead soon.
Can we not do
Greenhouse
this
gases.
one? Can we not do this one on the podcast?
I don't even like snow caps. I mean, like when you get them at the movie theater, they come in that big box, but they're weird. They're like chocolate and crunchy. I don't even like them. So fuck them.
Well, it's been a good show, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are absolutely kidding. We are not getting into politics here. Move on.
Almost made it to episode 5. Yeah, we're just gonna have to kill the show now. Yeah,
It was a good time.
Yeah.
My name is Bunga asks, do you think Destiny 2 will be on the Nintendo Switch? If so, will it hold back PS4 and Xbox One?
Oh boy.
No, I do not think it will be, because
I don't think it'll be.
one of the major parts of the game is being, always connected to the internet. And as much as I think it's really cool, it's a really cool console.
Mhm.
I don't think that'll work. I don't think it'll end up, incorporating all the cool things of the console. It'd be great to be able to go like, hey guys, hold up, let me take the raid into the toilet here real quick, and it's seamless.
It would be
Seamless
amazing.
transition.
Before you chuck that
Seamless.
bomb, let me finish something here.
Yeah. Hold up. Okay. Let me chuck a bomb real quick. Got it. Okay, good. Yeah. I don't think it will be. And people are like, oh, but Activision's on the Skylanders. It's called Skylanders.
Yeah.
Skylanders.
I
Which
would
is an
love
awesome
to see
game.
the NX, or I'm sorry, the Switch. What
Switch.
is it called again?
Switch. Nintendo Switch.
I would love to
Switch,
see that
Nintendo
happen,
Switch. Yep.
because being able to just kind of like relax and run, bounties like while I'm laying back in bed on like a little tablet kind of thing, that'd be great.
It would. Be
I've
cool.
tried it on the PS Vita, but like the connectivity with the PS Vita over Wi-Fi is kind of weird, and there's a lot of lag to it.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it'd be so nice to be able to just kind of relax a little bit, hang back, it'd be nice.
Yeah, it would be.
Open up the
I don't think
game
it's
to
gonna
more
happen,
players. I don't think it's gonna happen either.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
don't think it's happening.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I think I think that's a big decision for the studio too, to incorporate another platform. Like they already just got rid of the old gen. I think if they're going to entertain PC in addition to the current platforms, then I think that's enough on their plate.
Yeah.
True.
The Hellfire says, "Hey DCP crew, what are y'all's SRL predictions? Maps? How many? Extra features? etc."
4 total maps. I'm gonna.
I
guess
was gonna
4.
say 4, Patrick.
Got it. I'd said it first.
We think two old and 2 new ones.
Yeah, the 2 old ones.
Think
2
you're
new
gonna
I
break
think
the
ones.
old
Sounds
so.
like
That's-
Yeah.
That's pretty fair.
Are we gonna have
They said they're gonna revamp the old ones too.
I think so.
Are we gonna have power ups? Are we gonna have like a blue shell?
Oh,
Come on,
Are they
blue
gonna?
shell.
Are they gonna?
It would be interesting in concept. Maybe if they did that, they would have like SRL race and SRL battle.
Yes, battle. Love it.
Two
Are they going
playlists.
to add it to the custom matchmaking playlist?
I hope so.
I
That would be
think
nice.
they would. I think
You
they
don't
would.
even need to, because can't you already do that? You can
Yeah,
already
that's-
bring in
I'm
6
pretty sure
players.
you can bring in 6. Yeah. I think.
No,
so.
I know, but I mean, it
the
doesn't. It
future.
match makes the rest.
Well, if you have 6, that's the most amount of people you can.
No,
have.
I know, but I mean, if you want to do 3 people, it match
Yeah.
makes.
Oh,
the
so you
rest.
just 3 people. Yeah. I mean, it would be nice if it was in the
I don't see why it wouldn't be.
private matches.
Yeah, because
but-
I mean, everybody knows that 1v1ing Briar in with just guns is not fair for him. He's got to have like something motorized between his legs.
All I
What
hear
if-
is
Had to bring it full circle,
yappity.
What if
It's all
they
callback
bring
in the
the
comedy
SIVA
bits.
charges to SRL, and you're scooting around the map, and a SIVA charge drops, and you can pick it up and throw it at people you're crazy
Ooh.
against?
That'd be cool.
It would be fun.
Yeah.
I don't know
would
if it's
be.
possible, but it would be really fun.
Also, what if instead of 6 they did 12? Because it is technically there's 12 people. How about
That
12
would be
racers?
fantastic.
Be pretty
Rip your
messy.
frame rate,
It would be
man.
super
chaotic,
messy.
and it would be awesome. It would be fun.
I want to see skill-based matchmaking in it. Yeah, there we go.
That
There is
that silence
there
was
is
amazing.
skill based there is skill based matchmaking in it, man. I've used there is the races change. You get harder competition. It's really tough when you get faster.
Gotta go fast, man.
Gotta go
Faster
I
or
live
blows
my
up.
life a quarter mile at a time.
I just strapped a kilo of coke under the car and I just called the cops. Go.
Cameron Robinson asks, "What's your favorite raid weapon excluding Outbreak Prime?"
Scout rifle's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was gonna go with Scout. I think that's probably the one that I use the most.
I've
Out of
grown
them?
fond of the Pulse over the Scout for no particular reason other than I
Well,
just like it.
I didn't get the pulse. I got 4 hand cannons and like 5 sidearms.
I like firing that hand cannon. I wish the perks on
Me
it were
too.
better because it just feels good.
It feels
Like, it's-
good.
Yeah.
I think that machine gun might be my new fave. It's fun, man.
Yeah.
Because also you hear the proc going.
So yeah, when the perk goes off,
Yeah.
it's really cool. It's true.
It's awesome.
I'm with Datto though. I think the pulse rifle is my favorite. I love that it's full auto. I love that it's very much it's an easy gun to use.
Yeah.
It is a good weapon. It really is.
I don't know. It's a tough one. As much as I don't like the hand cannon, I love the reactive reload, how it works. Like you go at sprint speed when the reactive reload thing is procced. You
Mhm.
move really quick. But the reload speed's like so slow on its own that it's hard to time it properly. Even with like a pair of reload gloves, it just feels weird.
It's not a
So-
good setup.
That's actually what I noticed too when I was using it. But then the sidearm doesn't have that problem at all.
Yeah, because sidearms
Mhm.
reload quick as shit
Yeah.
anyway. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I the only weapon I don't have is the sidearm. So hey, Datto, whenever you go back to test stuff in the raid, let me know, and I sidearm. I need it. Yeah.
That sidearm I actually thought reloaded slow compared to other sidearms.
It's
Does it?
possible.
Guys, I have to
I-
say,
I- Feels like it does.
I think I love the sidearm. It is a lot of fun. I wouldn't use it in the raid, but like just in general, it is fun.
I'm gonna go take
It
a look
shoots
at the
real
sidearm
fast.
stats.
Yeah, and the effects. I don't know. Something about it I really like.
Mike Cianfrone, do you think the Outbreak Prime quest is too involved for solo players that depend heavily on LFG?
Yes,
Yeah.
but
It-
let us have one thing.
That's the thing, right? It's a balance between people who don't play a lot, people who play solo, people who are in the top 1% or whatever. There's a lot of ways for people who do not play a lot to get exotics and to play with the super cool, powerful weapons. I think there needs to be at least one thing per DLC or whatever where it's really hard to get, and the people who play a
Yeah.
lot are the ones that get it. I think there needs to be something
Yeah.
for those people.
I like it. I like the quest overall. I think it's one of the coolest quests in any video game. Like this is in like one of the top 5, quests
Yeah.
Mhm.
in all video games for me. The only thing that I really wish they would have done, instead of having to require one of each class, just make it like 3 people in a team. Just make it 3 people in your fire team to do it. Not make it class specific. I feel like that would have really made it way more palatable for a larger portion of the player base. I understand why they did it, but
It
still,
kind of gives it like a cool flavor, but yeah, I
yeah,
understand what you're saying.
it's a little bit frustrating to like, hey, I need a warlock, and like then you can't find anyone that's on a warlock that is able to do that specific leg of that quest, or you have to find one that's already done it. It's just a little bit too limiting, I think. But overall,
it was limiting for our group because we had no warlocks in it. We had to go find a warlock on Twitter. Help us.
It's embarrassing when you have to ask a warlock for help, isn't it?
It is.
They always make you feel like crap, you know? They're like, ooh.
And of course,
you
the
need
warlock
help.
in our group was really good at math, and he was like, "Oh, what do you mean? You're having problems figuring this out?" And I was just like,
It's ridiculous.
"This is why I'm a solo player."
All right, we've hit the 2-hour mark. What do you guys think about 3 more questions?
Let's do 2 more.
2 more?
2 more. Let's do 2 more.
2 more.
Dos más.
2 more.
David Schnoes asks, have you noticed anything off with Trials matchmaking? The lag and sweaty matches have seemed unreal since Rise of Iron Trials began.
I haven't noticed anything different,
Seems
really.
the same to me.
It seems the
Yeah,
same
it
once
feels
we hit.
pretty the same.
I
once
see
we hit as
Spain
well.
coming around.
Yeah, once we hit 7 or 8 wins, Spain, we're getting matched up pretty consistently with Spain. Aside from that, like that's normal.
I have
normal
like
trials.
maybe every once in a while, like, you know, nothing overly dramatic. You know, there might be one person in one round who has like a little skip in their jump, but other than that, no, I almost feel like it's been slightly easier for me. Maybe I'm just playing with better people and getting carried harder. I don't know. But yeah, no, it hasn't really felt too much different.
No.
Jeff Romaniak, do you guys wear shoes in the house? This concept is strange to me.
No.
Yes, I'm Canadian and we don't.
No.
Most countries don't.
I don't even wear this when I'm off camera.
Yeah, like
It's just
I don't,
You're pointing at a shirt, Datto. You're
I know.
saying this.
Do
Like,
you also
wear-
take your pants off?
Do you walk
Yes.
around naked?
Are you fully naked?
Not
Dad?
fully naked.
Okay.
Boxers?
Like boxers?
Yeah.
That's
Boxers
normal.
and shorts. Maybe that's
you're
about
going
it.
you're going for maximum comfort for maximum workout efficiency.
All I know is that the
That
next
thing,
Datto
yes.
video I watch, I'm going to have a different mental picture.
That's right.
You're like, huh, Datto's
It
naked
gets
reading
hot in
the
here when I'm
script right now.
recording.
Yeah.
I haven't had the AC on in over 2 hours. It's
Dude,
getting a little hot here.
when you're sitting there trying to like work on scripts, you need peak efficiency, so you need to cool yourself up properly. So doors, windows open in the house, get all the
No, I thought
breezes
you were going to
flowing.
go into another ad read.
No,
Cool yourself off properly. With
to cool yourself up
Yeah.
properly, be sure to
Branded air
drink high
conditioners.
quality H2O, properly filtered through.
Brittle.
Stuff.
Filter.
Yeah.
Brittle.
I wear socks.
Brother.
Do you guys wear socks inside?
No.
Especially
Nope.
in the wintertime.
if
I
my
have,
feet are cold, I will wear socks.
I have
Nope.
little slippers, house slippers.
Mhm.
So when I come home, I have a shoe rack and I take my shoes off and I've got house slippers.
I try to
Fair.
walk barefoot everywhere
I'm
as
just-
much as possible.
Yeah,
I
I
have
yeah.
Barefoot isn't great.
Legos are, they're brutal.
Yeah.
When
That's
you have
a real
pants and you
motherfucker.
step on a Lego, oh,
You walk over enough of them, and it doesn't even you don't even notice it anymore.
The nerve endings are dead in your feet? What?
Probably. Probably
every
this one.
time, Patrick. Every time I got my son the new Star
Yeah.
Wars set right here, the
Uh-huh.
Lego, and they have these sharp parts to them, and you step on one, and it's like, hello.
It's like you just step on
Oh my gosh. Meme's parents, my mother and father-in-law are always trying to convince me to wear slippers in the house. They're Filipino.
Yeah, that makes
Shut
every
up.
time I go in the kitchen of
Right?
Tomo's parents, they're like, put the slippers. I'm like, no, I'm okay.
I know, me too. I'm always
okay.
like, I'm good. My
Fine.
feet aren't cold. It's fine. They're bare, you
yeah,
know?
like I
Yeah.
don't need like a robe and slippers. I don't need more food. I'm good.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, the Filipino persuasion is very strong with them because it's been years and they're still like, slippers. Wear some slippers. I'm like, I'm good. I'm
You're like-
good.
I can't. I don't know. I can't. I just can't walk around my house and have stuff on my feet. It feels weird. So
The only time I do it is when I go clean the litter tray, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
never know.
I can understand that. I put shoes on to when Spunky was around. Yeah,
Rip Spunky.
Rip Spunky. But that was a sick ad read, though. Am I right? Yeah.
That's really sad.
This is a super sad ad read.
That is horrible.
He's a cool cat. He would have laughed. He was deaf. He was
He
deaf.
would have laughed if he could understand the concept of humor.
Yeah, he was deaf.
Cool
He
cat with
he
sense of
couldn't
humor.
understand the concept of a microphone anyway, or really sick headphones.
Wild headphones.
Wild. There we go.
Wild.
All right, I think we're petering out now. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. This is the fourth episode of the Destiny Community Podcast. We're at that stage where I'm forgetting the numbers, so we're legitimate now.
Yep.
We're legit. All right,
Datto, homie, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks
very
so
much.
much.
Hey, no, I mean, I like
seriously.
doing this one because it's like I'm already friends with everybody, so it doesn't feel
Yeah,
awkward
you know,
at all.
I saw
Yeah.
comments in the chat. They were like, your presence here is like a co-host and not a guest. And
Yeah,
you're I want to let you know that you're welcome. You know, to our house. This is you've been on like 3 times now, 4 times.
3 or 4 times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always good to have you on. So if you ever got something to say, just not that you can't do that on your videos, but you're welcome on.
Well, if you
You
ever
wanna
need
yell
an
at more
emergency
people.
guest, I'm a huge loser who does nothing, so I'm probably available.
Are you going to be doing the Dames of Destiny breast cancer charity stream on the 30th?
I'm not sure because I have a friend visiting me for most of the end of the month, so
Okay.
I'm not sure. I just
Well,
have zero idea of my availability.
We are going to be doing something. We are going to be doing a raid, and this crew here
Okay.
to raise money for that charity for breast cancer research.
Okay.
And so
Yeah,
you're
ping me on Twitter and
absolutely,
I'll let you know.
for sure.
all right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. If you want to find me at Holtzmann_YT on Twitter, and you can talk to me there. Probably the best way to reach me.
I'm Briar Rabbit. You can find me at the Briar Rabbit on Twitter, at the Briar Rabbit channel on YouTube, or streaming as the Briar Rabbit or Briar Rabbit. I don't know. Just look up Briar Rabbit. It's everywhere.
I'm Tefty Teft.
Solid.
I'm Tefty Teft. You can look me up on YouTube as Tefty Teft. Also, the Twitch channel that you might be watching this right now on, twitch.tv/Tefty Teft. Also, my Twitter handle is Teft. No Teft Teft there. It's just Teft to keep it short and simple.
Good get.
Also, Datto, go check out Cactus Taco.
Maybe if I ever make it down there.
Oh my god.
I'm Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Miss 5000 Watts.
And this has been Pope Bear. So you can always find me on Twitter at Pope Bear, and cruising around through these guys' channels and stuff like that. So yeah.
Cool. Oh, I gotta do one now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/DattoDoesDestiny. You can find me there most of the time, and on Twitch occasionally. Twitch.tv/Datto. And that's it.
Good stuff, man. I love watching you go through the raid because you guys just spend so much time walking through it. It's cool.
Yeah, it's fun. Tuesday streams.
Hell yeah.
It's raid night. Raid night.
Raid
Right.
5 A's. Has to be 5.
Oh, 5.
5 A's.
5 A's.
Otherwise, you've broken the.
I didn't know that, actually.
I don't know how to
Always
enunciate
5.
5 A's.
Always 5 A's.
You break the harmonic resonance if it's not 5 A's.
Right. Right. Getting technical here, and that's a cue to end the podcast. That was the 4th episode. We will see you next week, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 And you
Ed.
stop.